Her wings in the fight, shadows circled on swallow the light. The world says stay down, but she won't comply. She's staring at the ground, but aim for the sky. Ashes fall, but she's still breathing. The fire's gone, but she's still seething. She'll rise again, like a phoenix through the flame, my friend. Burning bright where the darkness is. She'll rise again, rise again. They whisper she's weak, but they don't understand. Every bruise is a badge, every scar a command. The night tried to drown her, but she learned to swim. The tide pulls her down, but she fights from within. Ashes fall, but she's still breathing. The fire's gone, but she's still seething. She'll rise again, like a phoenix through the flame, my friend. Burning bright where the darkness is. She'll rise again, rise again. They whisper she's weak, but they don't understand. Every bruise is a badge, every scar a command. The night tried to drown her, but she learned to swim. The tide pulls her down, but she fights from within. Ashes fall, but she's still breathing. The fire's gone, but she's still seething. She'll rise again, like a phoenix through the flame, my friend. Burning bright where the darkness is. She'll rise again, again. Rise again. Rise again. Rise again. Rules for the broken, none for the blessed. They walk on water, we drown in the rest. Staring at shadows while they light the flame. What's the cost when the line gets crossed and no one pays the price? Two sets of scales, one tips and one prevails. Justice on a crooked rail. Two sets of scales, one truth that always fails. They whisper the verdict before the trial's begun. Hands washed in silence while we hold the gun. Shouting for answers, but the echoes just run. Who decides where the truth resides when it's all just a game? Two sets of scales, one tips and one prevails. Justice on a crooked rail. Two sets of scales, one truth that always fails. Where the truth resides when it's all just a game. Two sets of scales, one tips and one prevails. Justice on a crooked rail. Justice on a crooked rail. Two sets of scales, one truth that always fails.
Lies alive, rules for some, none for the rest. Who made this thing, who rigged this test? Eyes blind shut, but wide they see. Justice ain't for folks like me. Selective justice burns my name. running in their trap. Selective justice blurs my name. The guilty walk, the innocent take the blame. Selective justice tears the seams, rips apart what fairness means. Draw the map to keep us running in their trap. Selective justice burns my name. The guilty walk, he walk, the innocent take the blame. Take the blame. Selective justice tears the seams, rips apart what fairness means.
Hey, hey. Whoa. Hey, hey. What's up? What's up? Coheed and Cam. I used to see them at this club called Sundance on Long Island. They played there a lot. I haven't heard their names in a long ass time. So I hope everyone. God, I hate this fucking cord. I can't even touch my microphone. So let me just say, if Jonesin decides to strike me, I will be over on Kick under PURPLEXEDQT. I haven't used Kick in a while, but if Jonesin decides to strike me, which she might, because she does that, I will be over on Kick. Hopefully she won't, but you never know. All right. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hello, everyone. Hello, my amazing mods. Hello, everyone in chat. I was listening to Jonesin today for a little while. I didn't hear the whole thing. I was listening to Soup this morning for a little while. I don't think either one of them know about the law enough to understand some of the frustration from some of us that do. And I say that not in a bad way, but I say that in a real way. And as I go through this live, you're going to understand more and more. Now, again, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know everything. I don't know North Carolina law. So don't think I'm coming across like an expert in North Carolina law, because I'm not. But I do understand how the law works. I understand legalese. There's a lot of things that are the same in every state. There's just like little things that are different. So just understand that. Many things in civil court is the same no matter where you are. But I feel like a lot of people hate one side so much that they're blind to see what's right in front of them. And because they hate the other side so badly, they don't want to see what they should see. So let's go through it. Let's go through Jonesin's video. And I'll show you guys what I mean. It'll be easier to say. And by the way, shout out to Kristen, who did great. If I knew she wanted to go on panels, she's more than happy to come on my panel as well. She knows that, she's a mod for me. Okay. Let me back this up. Oh, that's Clues Live. Shit. Damn, I had it in the perfect spot. All right. Let me back up. Jones and live. Okay. Well. All right, let's do this. Oh. Jones, and don't strike me.
Just like Islam people are probably anti-Pentecostal because that's not their religion. I mean, they are. If Brittney's wasting the court's time, then y'all better say Queen's wasting the court's time too, because she's trying to do the same fucking thing.
Okay. One thing I want to get started. We're not talking about Queen. This is not about Queen. There is no comparison. You guys all know how I feel about the receipts with Queen and everything else. But me screaming from the rooftops is not going to change anything. So it is what it is.
Actually, she's trying to go even further and get a lifetime one. You know, Brittney wasn't even trying to do that. But anyways, I want to go over this live with y'all, but I'm going to pull it up in my Vimeo where I recorded it, and we'll go from there. Let's see. Let me pull it up.
All right. I don't even know where to begin. The fact that it's being said that I was supposed to go for the 6th and I didn't show up is not true.
If someone has a whiteboard, they can count the lies. Okay. This was Clue and Cletus. And can you guys see that? Let me make it bigger for a second. This is the court order. And what does that say? Plaintiff did not show up on this October 6th to be heard on this. Okay? Say that again, Brittney, that it wasn't true. Plaintiff did not show up on October 6th to be heard on this. So there you go. Lie number 1. But for some reason, Brittney's supporters don't want to see that. They think it's a lie. They want to believe Brittney. This is just one of 1,000 lies that this girl tells. But right there's the proof. Yes, you did have court on the 6th and you never showed up. And that is in an official court document.
Okay, so she's saying that's not true. Okay, so that would have been Friday. She took the ROs out. Monday, she was supposed to show up. I don't know. She's saying that's not true. I tend to believe it is true.
That's not true. So I'm going to explain this from beginning to end. Okay. So when I went and filled out the protection orders, right? I filled those out on the 2nd. I took them. I had to go into court the following day and have the judge sign off on them.
Okay. She took them out on the 2nd, which was a Thursday. She had to go the next day. Okay.
I did that. The judge called me to the stand and he said, I'm not Shayna. The judge called me to the stand and he told me that I needed, or that the one for Ricky was okay.
Now this is a little tricky. So I looked up, is a judge in North Carolina allowed to ask for more proof before a hearing is done? In North Carolina, a judge cannot tell you that more proof is needed before a hearing begins. So then I decided to change it a little. And I put in, can a judge what did I say? Can a judge in North Carolina tell you more proof is needed when the judge first meets the plaintiff before an ex parte hearing? And it says in North Carolina, a judge can tell a plaintiff that more proof is needed before an ex parte hearing is held. A court can only grant an ex parte order, such as for domestic violence protective order or emergency child custody, if the evidence presented shows there is immediate danger or a true emergency. So the reason why I say it's a little iffy is because, you know, whether it's a civil ex parte, that looked like it was a criminal ex parte. So I'm not 100% sure. But I've never heard of a judge asking for proof before or calling you up there saying, I need more proof in order to sign to get a hearing. I've never heard of that. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. Hey, Yarn, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it doesn't sound right to me. Like, if she went to the hearing on the 6th, and at that time, the judge said, hey, I'm not going to sign this for temporary because I don't have enough proof. That to me makes more sense. When a judge is just signing for a hearing, even if the hearing is just you, it just doesn't sit right with me that when a judge does a signing just to get the orders out, that he's going to tell you he needs more proof. That's what a hearing is for. Like, that's the way the law works. So again, I don't know North Carolina law. I don't know the specifics of how to put in, like, before an ex parte initial hearing. That didn't really come up anything. So it just to get a judge to sign, they just sign it. And then when you go to the hearing, again, even at her initial ex parte hearing, that's when a judge would say, well, I can't sign this without more proof. But initially, all he's signing is for it to get out there to the public. So North Carolina may be different, but combination of what I know about civil law and common sense, I can't say that that's a lie. It just doesn't seem right with me because of that. Like, again, the hearing on the 6th, I can totally see the guy saying that. A judge saying that. Not before, though. Because, again, all they do is sign it and move on. Sign it and get it out there.
But the one for Davy, he said it was a little too vague, and he wanted a little more clear. Like, they wanted more, like, straightforward, blunt, like, threats that had been made on me. And when I went the night before, it was the afternoon. The lady had rushed me through. So,
okay, so she goes.
Now, let me also state, if someone allegedly has a lawyer, because remember, Brittney has said numerous times that she has a lawyer that has walked her through it, that her lawyer has been advising her. So why'd you need the clerk's help? If your quote-unquote lawyer was advising you, what the fuck do you need the clerk's help for? Just saying. Oh, you can tell when she's lying, Yarn. I agree.
The afternoon of the 2nd. And she gets, basically, the court clerk helps her fill out this information, right? That's the 2RO paperwork. She's got that court clerk helped her get that.
But again, she allegedly had a lawyer. She's been saying all along that her lawyer was advising her. I don't think your lawyer was advising you jack shit, because you don't have one.
Well, then the next day, Friday, she had to show up. and she had to talk to the judge about the paperwork that the court clerk helped her put in. And he told her the one for Clue is good, but the one for Cletus, we need more evidence, more precise evidence. Now, here's my thing. Because Brittney J had plenty enough for something to happen with this. But I feel like she was not prepared. Like, that shit should have all been clipped, downloaded, and put onto a thumb drive. Not even another phone, not even a spare phone, a thumb drive. Because with a thumb drive, you can hand that over to the courts, okay? So he shouldn't have been telling you didn't have enough direct evidence against Cletus. You should have already had all of that in line before you did it.
And there I agree with Joneson, 100%. Yeah, I did not call her lawyer. I want to make this crystal clear. Like I said on my community post, I never called her lawyer. Ever.
Whatever then.
The judge told me on that Friday, which that would have been on the 3rd, okay? Which meant the following Monday would have been the 6th. He told me that he wanted me, and he told the bail or the clerk of court.
Oh,
he wanted me
God,
to
Tony.
contact my attorney and have my
Tony. Everybody say hey to Mr. Joneson. He's in the chat. Oh, he said, my good God, you are fine. Let me get them digits. 678-603. Oh, can someone block Tony? Johnson's husband would appreciate that. Oh, y'all are funny. Funny. And then he said something about staring creepily. Where'd he say that at? I seen it. It's gone, though. You think so, Kim? I don't know. I'm not sure. It makes me feel like, well, you're not too much. At 9:28 beats me. I don't know. So, to me, her not being prepared and ready to do so, it makes me feel like, well, you're not too much in fear of your life. Because I can promise you right now, if I was worried about me and Tony and Caden, my ass would have been at that courthouse an hour early with a thumb drive ready and waiting for my ass to be called. Why you would walk into the courthouse and through the what are they called? Metal detector.
Because I'll tell you why, Joneson. Because Brittney is a true narcissist who thinks the world revolves around her, and she thinks she can show up to court at 9:28 for a 9:30 hearing with no problem. I said this yesterday. If she was ever out in the real world, then she would know that you have to be there at 9:30. That means be there by 8. Be there by 9, no later than 9. In the real world, even for a real job, you have to be there by 9. Make sure you're there at 9:15. Interview, you're supposed to be there at 12, be there at 11:30. It's just, I'm sorry, nobody ever taught her that. But court especially, just like an airline, you don't know if there's going to be a long line waiting to get in the courthouse. You have no idea. So you always want to get there super early, just in case.
At 9:28 beats me. I don't know why. So it makes me feel like because she wasn't as prepared as she could have been, like, it makes me feel like, girl. You obviously ain't as scared as you've put yourself out here to be. That's where my mind goes. That's just where my mind goes. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I know it might hurt people's feelings. Oh, in her
To put it in perspective, Joneson is a kid bus driver. So let's say school starts at 8 o'clock. Could she show up at a first stop at 8 o'clock? No. She's got to be at a first stop early. And then she gets to her next stop. What if she hits traffic? She's got to make sure that she has those kids at school at, let's say, 8 o'clock. So, like, Joneson understands real world.
Her eyes, we've been asking Clue what her fake accent is about. Yeah, we've been talked about. Yeah, first mistake, you don't show up for court late. Period. Let's keep going.
My attorney, why are you doing their names? Because that's their names. What are you talking about? Just like my first and last name was read, it is being spread all over. I said their first and last name. That's their names. That's what I said them. That's their names. I didn't just dox anybody. They put that out constantly. Stop. I'm not here to argue with anybody. This is me fucking talking about what.
And that's another thing to pay attention to. Is that stars? Yeah, hey, stars. That's another thing to pay attention to, is that she used Soup's content. Okay, the ROs hadn't hit yet. They hadn't been served to them yet. But in between them being served and her getting the ROs.
Now, let me also say something. The beginning of this live, Jones and I agree with all of it. It takes a wild turn about halfway through, though. And that's why I was like, I got to address this.
Got this space in between. And what did she do in that space? She filled out the ROs. She went to court the next day to talk to the judge. The judge said he needed more evidence. She goes home. What does she do? She uses Soup's live and covers Clue and Cletus, again, knowing she's already made this RO. So then in this space, she's covering Clue and Cletus, and then boom, they're served. So in that space, you kind of did some shit you shouldn't have done. But I've been saying this whole time, like, at some point, I understand wanting to respond, but at some point, you have to know legally, if you're going through the legal route, when to shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. No, let's not accuse her of being on drugs. I don't think that has anything to do with nothing.
The reason why I agree with her there, that it doesn't have anything to do with her being on drugs, is because Brittney was up and made a community post hours prior, like 3-4 hours prior to a court date. So she was awake. So it's not like she overslept because she was high the night before or anything like that. So I agree with Jones in there as well.
And you know, that's the thing. I don't know that she did, Leo. I just think it's very possible she could have been just super irresponsible. And that's not fair. That's not fair to her sub. She's got a good group of people that really support her. Really, they really do support her.
I honestly don't think they truly support her. I think they feel like they have nowhere else to go.
Well, to me, stars, once you send out a cease and desist, you shut the fuck up, so that anything that happens past that, you're not involved in. You can just show them continuing on. But then you go in and get the RO and then still keep running your fucking mouth. That's why I pulled away. That's why I stopped covering it. I'm confident. I feel good that I tried to bring people's attention to the bullying that they were doing and how out of hand it was getting. It is still out of hand. It is still too much for one person. It's still wrong what's being done to her.
Joneson, you weren't around back then. But all of this has been done to a lot of people. MGL, me. Look what happened to fucking Zav Girl. If Zav Girl had national news talking about her, she survived. She took some time off, but she survived. Everybody survives it. If you're a target, you learn to eventually ignore it. You leave the internet, you take a break, you do whatever. I personally, and this is where you and I might differ, Brittney enjoys it. It's not like Zavgirl, where she did not enjoy it. MGL also enjoyed it. I did not. But you have to take responsibility for your actions in it. And Brittney doesn't want to do that. All she wants to do is cry victim. Poor me, poor me. And that's bullshit. Betty, too. Betty had it as well. Dolly had it at one point. JLR had it. And you know what JLR did? He fucking totally ignored it. And look where he ended up.
But when you're not willing to shut the fuck up, that's a problem.
Happen. I'm not even going to reach out. Okay. So the judge told me, I mean, seriously, like, you act like I'm there for me if I get my attorney to modify the document to make it a little, or at least look over it.
That is a fucking lie. And let me tell you why. She doesn't have an attorney on record. Because there is no attorney on record, nobody, no judge is going to say, oh, have your attorney look at it, because she doesn't have an attorney. So right there, she's lying.
What he said was for me to see if my attorney was okay with what the document said or if he should modify it.
Okay. Again, and a judge is not going to have you speak to an imaginary attorney and ask if he should modify it. Because, and the reason I say I know that's bullshit, because you just said 5 minutes ago that a judge said for you to get more information. Why would a judge tell you to have a lawyer modify it when he just told you that you need more information? So what would he get to modify? What would you need to modify? It makes no fucking sense at all.
And that he told the clerk, she's going to have her attorney modify it. Whenever her attorney modifies it, she can come back in next week and sign. Have me sign, and then we'll send them out. So
okay, so far I don't doubt that part. But see, court systems fuck up all the time. So
thank you, UA. You said that better. Any fucking attorney, no, it's any judge would know what the bar is that needs to be met for a judge to grant the order. The judge would not need to tell you that. But on top of that, the judge would not tell you to speak to an attorney that you don't have on file. There is no attorney on file. You had a clerk help you with paperwork, filling out paperwork, because you don't have an attorney.
let's just keep watching.
I told him that,
So what she's saying is she went to the courthouse. She filled out the paperwork with the county clerk's help. The next day she went up there. The judge said he needed more direct evidence on Cletus, but also said, well, do you have a lawyer? She says yes. And he says, well, you need to take this and have your lawyer revise it and see if he wants anything changed. And then we go from there, basically.
okay, I'll go home and I'll call my attorney and he'll, I'll see what he wants to do or whatever. And then I'll be back in one day next week. The deal was that I was to come in the following day after my attorney.
Well, that's what she's saying here. In just a minute, you're going to hear her saying that. I am too there. She's saying that they were not officially signed and ready to be served.
Line number 4. The courthouse in an RO, civil or criminal, it is the sheriffs that deliver it. You cannot have The sheriffs, the courts are not going to release it for a sheriff to deliver it if it's not signed. Was it signed for a temporary order? Absolutely not, because that's what she should have gone back on the 6th. But Brittney thinks that she was going to get all this done without an attorney, without anybody knowing anything. And then all of a sudden, Clue and Cletus were going to have these fucking orders done without anyone knowing. No, it's not the way it works.
That's what she's saying. I don't know if that's true. They cannot serve anybody without you signing off on it, you or your lawyer.
The document. Monday
What I think is, I think that he said, go back, have your lawyer, because she was supposed to be back on the 6th. This was on the 3rd, Friday the 3rd. He tells her, have your lawyer look over this, see if there's anything he wants to fix. And basically, he didn't tell her. He said, we'll figure this out next week. But she's claiming he didn't tell her Monday was when they were going to figure that out. So it seems to me like
Okay, she's lying because she would get a copy of the paperwork. When you leave the courthouse, she would have a copy of the paperwork. Cletus showed the paperwork and it is signed. So, nice try, Brittney, but that's lie number 5.
the judge was saying, get him to look at this today when you go home.
A judge would never say that. A judge would not say, oh, have the lawyer revise this. Have the lawyer look at this. A judge would never say that at all. And usually, not all the time, usually, especially in a small town, it's the same judge. So the judge would know if she has a lawyer or not and wouldn't need to ask her again at the hearing. Like, here's a news flash for anyone that doesn't know. Lawyers and judges hang out all the time. All the lawyers know each other. All the judges know the lawyers. They go to golf. They go to luncheons. They have Thanksgiving dinner together, especially in a small town.
Send this over to him and get him to revise it. Send it back to you so that Monday, the 6th, when you come back up here, if anything needs to be changed.
Exactly. They don't give legal advice.
It can be.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I called my attorney Friday as soon as I left the courthouse, I called my attorney. He told me that was fine. He would take care of it. He was out of town that weekend. He wouldn't be able to do it over the weekend. And he had a court hearing on the following Monday, but he would do it on Tuesday. And then we would go over it, discuss.
Okay. So there you go. And see, that makes sense to me right there. But here's the part that was missed.
That should not have made sense to you because the lawyer would have the paperwork, because if she actually had an attorney, they would have asked her, why isn't your attorney on file? If she made some excuse for whatever reason, they would have contacted the attorney and sent him a copy of the paperwork. And then he would have called and said, I can't do a Monday, blah, blah, blah. She's totally fabricating this entire story. Did not happen. Did not happen the way she's making it out to be. It just doesn't work like that. That's just not how the courts work.
Is that him saying, I can get back to it Tuesday because I've got my own court thing Monday. Like, it's like October 6th court date was complete.
And that's another thing. Any lawyer knows the courts are not on your fucking time. So it's not, hey, I'll get to it Tuesday. If there was a hearing on Friday or you saw a judge on Friday, that lawyer would have his paralegal, his secretary, whoever, contact the courts and say, what's going on, blah, blah, blah. You know, I can't do Monday. Can we move it to Tuesday? They would have said, fine. How come you're not on record? Whatever the situation. This would not be going through her. And people that don't understand the law, I could see why they don't understand that and think that Brittney's story makes sense. But that's not the way it works at all.
Completely just done away with on their part. Like, for whatever reason, Brittney J doesn't know anything about the October 6th Monday appearance. She didn't have it on any paperwork. The judge never told her Monday, October 6th. I could.
Jones, and I promise you, the judge told her when her court date was. I promise you. They absolutely told her it was Monday the 6th. And here's another thing. Just to add to that, if her lawyer, if her story is true, even a little bit true, her lawyer would have told her to contact the clerk of court and say, my lawyer can't do it Monday. He can't get to it till Tuesday. That's all. As you would say, that's it. That's all. He would have advised you, you know, because he's advising you. He would have advised you to let the courts know. Just make this lie number 7.
See one of those happen, but I can't see all of it. I can't see all of it.
That's if I was okay with it, submit it, and I would go in that Wednesday and sign off on it. Okay. That was what was supposed to happen. Well, Monday came, and
that's what
next
I was
thing I know-
thinking, Kim. But is he not? Did he not do that just because? I mean, if you're a lawyer and you're being paid, you do it as soon as possible. Why wouldn't he call? Never mind. He wouldn't call and ask for it to be rescheduled because he wasn't told anything about October 6th. So for whatever reason, that date was missing. And that's why I said, Brittney said that it wasn't on any paperwork. The judge didn't tell her specifically October 6th. He just said next week. I don't.
Well, let me help you understand that. That's because she's lying. Plain and simple. She's just fucking lying. The judge told her, come back on the 6th. We will have an ex parte hearing on the 6th. She is lying. That's why it doesn't make sense.
I don't know, y'all.
Clue and Cletus are going live saying that Cletus was served. I'm like,
Me too, Val.
And I haven't said anything about it because you don't talk about that kind of stuff when, you know what I mean? Like, we have court and stuff like that. So I like me and.
You don't talk about what kind of stuff? What stuff do you not talk about?
My friends are like, what the fuck? How did this happen?
Well, I could have swore at the beginning when the RO things went into place that Brittney J said this was something she did on her own without the lawyer. So she went and filled out the ROs and everything with the court clerk without her lawyer being involved. And then the next day on the 3rd, when she went back into court, the same day the judge told her he needed more direct evidence on Cletus, that's when he asked her if she had a lawyer, and she said yes.
A judge would never ask you if you have a lawyer because it would be on the docket. Plain and simple. It would just be on the docket. They would never need to ask you.
He says, well, how about you take this to him, have it revised, get the stuff you need, and we'll reconvene Monday. But she's saying he didn't specifically say reconvene Monday, October 6th. I just don't see that being
And like,
possible.
I haven't even been back to sign. And there's a couple things I want to clarify on here. And this is going to kind of prove that they knew that this wasn't a sexual assault type thing. So anyway, that's what happened. I did not miss my date. I didn't miss my date. My attorney did nothing wrong. I have.
All right. I'm going to play UA's message. I don't know what's on it. I haven't listened to it yet. You guys are going to hear it the same time I am.
Okay, first of all, when you're filing something as easy as this is to file, I mean, it has any attorney that fucking passes the bar is going to know what the legal threshold they need to meet in order to get a judge to grant this 50C order. Point blank, end of story. We get too much debt in law school to not know that, okay? Have to pass the bar, all the things. Second, BJ, your attorney is in fucking Wake Forest, North Carolina. So, Winston-Salem, right? Rancher Harris? Okay. So, your little Podunk County in Scotland is not going to be traveling 2 hours one way for this fucking shit, okay? So, you're going to be using your little Podunk attorney, which I know you didn't use any attorney, but yeah, they're not going to be handling this shit. They could, but they're not going to be. And you would never expect them to show up in court, I would think, driving 2 hours one way, because that's fucking expensive. Lawyers' time, they bill by the fucking in 6-minute increments. BJ, just sit all the way the fucking down. But yeah, this is bullshit.
All right. That was UA's message.
My attorney is working on this, and simply put,
well, your attorney is doing a really shitty job, and I'm gonna tell you why I think this attorney is doing a shitty job, because he sent out the cease and desist saying that they had 5 days to comply, and that was done on, if I'm not mistaken, the 12th. They didn't receive
It was actually the 10th.
them until the 17th. So their 5 days to comply was already out the window. I'm just saying, he held on to that paperwork, didn't send it out on time like he was supposed to. They get it, they read it, and it says it's dated September 12th and that they have 5 days to comply. But they didn't even get the fucking paperwork until 5 days later. Just saying.
Court dropped the ball. That's it. That's all. I didn't miss my court date. Did none of the sort.
You did. You missed October 6th. You went Thursday, filed the ROs. You went Friday to talk to the judge about the ROs you filed. And then you had Saturday, Sunday, and was supposed to show back up Monday with a revised RO and apparently more evidence against Cletus. And you didn't show up Monday. Automatically, boom, you're out. They're still going to hear it because Clue and Cletus had been sent the paperwork and told to be there. What's today's date? On the 13th. So they had to be in court on the 13th. So they let it just kind of hang out until the 13th. You might have been given another shot had you have been there on fucking time and ready to go. When they called you up, you could have presented your evidence. That could have gave the judge incentive to what's that called? Make it go longer. It's not coming to me.
Continuance.
Whatever. Keep the temporary order in place until everything could be decided. But you showed up late. I'm sorry. Walking through the metal detectors at 9:28, and then them sending you to put your phone back.
Yeah, let's also remember that. She states that she called the clerk of court on the 7th. Why would you call the clerk of court on the 7th? I thought that your attorney was handling it. So why would you call? You wouldn't call if your attorney was handling it. Your attorney would have called.
In your car? You should have been walking in that courtroom at 9 o'clock, because at 9 o'clock, if they would have told you to go put that phone in your car, you would have had your time, 30 minutes worth of time to run out, put your phone in the car, and then come back. You would have been back in there by 9:15, sitting and waiting. This doesn't come back on them, and that's the problem I have with this. The only way it comes back on them is if they indeed did not let her know about her October 6th hearing between her and the judge. That's the only way it can come back to them, in my opinion.
I had a court date today, and that was what it was supposed to be. Give me just a minute, guys.
That's what I'm saying, Sue.
Somehow, I don't know. There's a big misunderstanding with the courts, okay? I was told by the judge to come back after my attorney modified it. Okay,
So it seems like the judge wanted her attorney to modify it over the weekend. Like Remy said, ain't no attorney finna be working on the weekend. Most of them don't. But as soon as she told her attorney Friday evening when she got done at the courthouse that this is what they want done, he, as an attorney, probably should have reached out to the courts and asked when they were supposed to be there. They would have told him October 6th, Monday, and he would have been able to tell them, I have court that day. I can't be in that day. And then they probably would have changed it.
wasn't given any documentation saying that I had to go back on that following Monday. So that's all. Like, that's what I can tell you. Yes, it was dismissed. It absolutely was dismissed. It was.
I can't see them. Here's my problem, Kim, because my mama works for a courthouse. My daddy's been in plenty of court cases. I cannot see that judge telling her, go revise this with your attorney, and that's it. We'll check back sometime next week.
And I 100% agree with her there. Joneson is 100% right on that.
No, what he's going to say is, go revise this with your attorney. You are to be back up here Monday. And maybe she just didn't hear it. Maybe, I don't know.
When I went today, so fast forward to today, we had the court.
But you know what? Bump that. The October 6th one. Yeah, she should have been there. Her missing it looked fucking bad on her. But bump that. Get rid of all that. Just think about yesterday. Showing up and walking through the metal detectors at 9:28. You lost your own shit by your own doing of lack of responsibility. I'm sorry. It's just the way I feel. Like, girl, like, this ain't nobody else's fault. Because then, even if you miss Monday, October 6th.
Just so you know, Monday, October 6th was her getting a hearing. This is how serious it was. That was about the hearing for Cletus to not even know that he got a restraining order. That's how serious it was. You would think she would have had that fucking date tattooed on her goddamn fucking forehead. Like, that's not a date you would want to forget. That's not a date that is not important if you're so scared, if you're so worried about him. And he's such a badass, he's going to come to your house and you're so scared, blah, 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 blah. This is not Granny's watching. Are you alive? Like, that shit makes no fucking sense.
You still had Monday, October 13th in your corner. And you still fucked up on the Monday, October 13th, and showed up at the time court was meant to start. No.
Yeah, Joneson does great the first half of this live. Literally, she does great. It takes a turn, though. I promise.
And when I went today,
Tony, are you still listening?
I went in and it was like the court date was at 9:30. It was like 9:28 when I walk in. They told me that I could bring my proof on a smartphone. So I go in and well, they said that it could be like a burner phone. I couldn't take my phone. So
I have never heard professionals use the word burner phone unless they're in court with a drug addict and you're convicting a drug addict. And a drug addict might say, hey, you got a burner phone? But I'm sorry, I've never heard court use the word burner phone or the expression burner phone. I could be wrong. Maybe they're young. But most judges don't use that term, or court clerks use that term. And the reason I say that is a burner phone still has active, still has active cell service. So what the fuck is the difference? Now, what they would have said is you can use an inactive phone, that I believe, a phone that doesn't have service, that I believe, but they're not going to tell you, hey, use a burner phone. A burner phone still has service. It's no different. You can get a burner phone that's a fucking smartphone that has active service. No, they didn't say bring a burner phone. That's what I'm saying.
took another phone.
And that don't make sense either. That don't make sense either. She could take a burner phone, but not her phone. But yet, how did they know that what she was walking in with was her personal phone and not the burner phone? I've got questions. Okay, baby's gonna get me a monster. I've got questions on that part. Let me come over here and check chat, see what y'all are saying. No. I got me a vape today.
Now, I'm sure it's way different now than when I went to court in 2009 to 2013. I'm sure it's different. But the judge wouldn't listen to anything. He wanted everything fucking printed out. They're not going to sit there and listen to evidence. They want it all on paper so they can skim through it and highlight whatever's important or what's not important. So, like I said, I'm sure it's changed now, but even a flash drive, I don't really believe.
Like, how did that person not know that one? Okay, here's my thing. Was she walking in with the burner phone and the regular phone, and the metal detector guard was like, "Nah, you can't have your personal phone." So she's like, "Well, I have this one. Can I have the burner phone?" And they say, "Yeah." So then she runs back to the car to take her personal phone back. I don't know. I think that's very possible. It's very possible, Val. The evidence has to be available for the defense too. Right. But if she didn't go Monday, October 6th, right? She was told on Friday, October 3rd, she didn't have enough. She had enough for Clue, but she didn't have enough for Cletus. So she was supposed to take that weekend and go and get more stuff pertaining to Cletus.
Johnson, that's only if you believe her lie. I don't believe that lie at all. At all. I don't think they told her take the weekend. She would have had her, like the judge said, she would have had to submit her evidence with the paperwork because that's what the judge was looking for. So I don't believe any of her story.
and his actions. Monday, she would have presented that. First off, they're not going to keep your burner phone. They're not going to keep your burner phone. So I don't see how putting everything on a phone helped anything unless you're putting it into like an Adobe folder that you can shoot over to them. Outside of that, the only way they would be able to have copies, if you're not sending file extensions, is to have what are them things called? The little sticks.
And I'm also going to circle back to what I said earlier. And that is, first of all, when a judge initially sees it, he's going to sign it. They can't do anything without an initial hearing. It's your time to bring everything to the initial hearing. A judge is just not going to need to see paperwork before October 6th. Like, I'm sure he told you, get everything together and we'll see you on the 6th. We'll see you Monday. I believe he said that, but I believe he still signed it because he has to get it out.
No, there was no, and I could have swore that's what she said at the beginning, Lindsay, that this was her doing. Her attorney was not involved in the ROs.
She did say that.
So I don't understand why she decided to get the attorney involved unless it was just because the judge asked her, do you have an attorney?
She did not get the attorney involved. She's lying. There is no fucking attorney.
And maybe that's why she decided to get him involved. Yeah, it's very weird. I don't know, Rebel Red. Yes, Cletus was served first and then Clue. But those weren't, if I'm not mistaken, those were letters sent out for appearance for court, and it let them know what she was trying to do. Right? Like that she was trying to get an RO taken out on them. Yeah, KDP, that is. And the attorney's name would have been on the calendar. See, Fur Baby works for the court system. I think that's possible, Lee. But when your life is in danger.
I see, this is where I don't understand. Why is it so hard for these people to use common sense? Brittney is lying. Plain and simple. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, maybes about it. She's fucking lying. End of story. And it's like people just don't want to come to terms with that.
And you're afraid for your family, which, don't get me wrong, she has every right to be worried for her and her family's safety. People are going way too far. CPS agencies looking up tickets within a day, like people driving by her house. Like, she has every right to be concerned. But the fact that you were not prepared lets me know that she really is not that concerned. I don't think so either. And I agree with that, JJ. And it sets it up for even worse things to happen. Yes. Hold on, what did Kim say? She wanted the ROs to be immediate. That's why she had a date on the 6th. She didn't have enough information to have it put on immediately. Right. But she's saying that they said that, yes, clues can go through immediately, without prior knowledge, but Cletus's can't. But
Okay, that's lie number 10. If that was true, if they're able, if she had enough evidence for clues to go through, then it would have gone through. The judge would have done it. So that's a lie too, because if she had enough evidence and it was so good, then the judge would have fucking signed it. And the judge would have put the emergency order on her. That's how I know the judge never told her she needs more evidence and that there was enough for a clue. Okay, so why didn't the judge sign it then? Because you're fucking lying.
it still didn't, they still served clue without prior knowledge. You know what I'm saying? She had prior knowledge. So I don't understand. This is just, and this is coming from somebody like me. I don't pretend to know everything legally, right? The legalities of everything. I don't. True. We are here debating it right now. No, I agree with that, Ash. The saddest part of this is that grown women see absolutely no issue with their own behavior and their obsession with one person.
Oh, come on, Ash. You fucking came after me for like 2 years. Give me a break. Now you want to act all holier than thou. Bitch, sit down.
Not an ounce of shame. It's unreal. Calling kids names, even. Baffling. They don't care. And that was the whole point, is, and me covering it, was to try to help them see how far they were going. Like, sometimes you can get caught up in the mess and you don't even realize, you know, the extent at which you're going. And so I was hoping to get them to realize it. They didn't want to realize it. They didn't want to see it. They wanted to just continue to victimize her. That's it. They wanted.
Right, Yarn? Like, she was fucking right there coming after me for like 2 years. And like, Ash, sit down. You're so fucking fake. Thank you, Yarn.
To continue to bully her and fuck with her. But what she's done and her lack of, whether it be she misunderstood them, or she didn't know this, or she didn't know that, or she took a burner phone instead of a little thumb drive. I mean, it all just screams to me unprepared, and ain't no goddamn way on earth am I going to be unprepared when it comes to my family's safety. That I'm sorry I have to say it like that. I don't want to be mean.
Damn, Jamal coming in with the info, yeah. She ran with the ponies. I didn't know you were around then, Jamal.
But there is no fucking way. I cannot even fathom in my brain how I would be unprepared if I am trying to do something to protect me and my family. That Pink Dagger, that's the only, I still agree everything done to her is fucked up. I still agree that this is a cyberbullying situation, but she wouldn't shut up when she sent the cease and desist out. She wouldn't shut up after she sent the ROs out. And now she's fucked. She screwed the pooch. That's what she's done. She screwed the pooch on this one. So you didn't shut up with C&Ds. You didn't shut up with ROs. And then you didn't show up to your court prepared the way you were supposed to be. Had you done all three of those things, you would probably have something working in your favor right now, because you had everything you need.
No, she really didn't. But what I will say, all she had to do also, if she was quote unquote on time and just had to put her phone in the car, is to ask one of the security guards at the place to let the judge know she's got to put her phone in the car, she was stuck in traffic, anything. But she didn't let anyone know. She just fucking let it go because, you know, she's that cool. Yeah, because they run with the crowd, niece. You got it, Jamal.
Needed to handle this correctly. I'm sorry. It's just, I can't unsee that. Yeah, stars. She's messed up with all of this stuff. I don't feel bad for her anymore. I feel bad for her in the sense that she can't get her fucking shit together. Because again, you had so much going for.
Oh, Remy's a mod for Jonesin. Hey, CNY. Remy's a mod for Jonesin.
For you in this, and you fucked it. You fucked it. Sorry.
When I go in,
Now I will say this. This does not mean I'm going to add in on the dogpiling. I'm giving my opinion this one time. If something else dramatic or major happens, I might give my opinion on that. But this ain't going to be, oh, Joneson's turning to the dark side. She's going to be reviewing and calling Brittney J's lies out every day. No, because I blatantly don't give a fuck. I blatantly don't give a fuck. That's not what it's going to be for me. So rest assured, you might be having these opinion lives right now, but I'm not joining the dog pile.
the jailer is like, you can come in, but you got to take that phone back outside. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, well, you know, so I go and say, y'all give me a minute. Give me 1 minute. I'm so sorry. So let me just, and listen, this is it. I don't want to talk about it anymore after this.
I bet you don't. I bet you fucking don't, girl.
Any papers? Nothing.
No, she didn't, Christy.
I was told to show up to.
That's my problem. That's my problem, is that she's got so many people trying to help her and guide her and tell her what to do. And I understand she feels like so, and you'll hear that coming up where she says, so basically y'all want them to do all this shit to me and for me to just shut the fuck up and not say anything.
Janessa, that's where I was going with this. I'm sorry, just Samantha. That's where I was going with this. Just because my eyes were opened and I see the light doesn't mean I have to join the dark side. It doesn't mean that I have to all of a sudden be friends with people that I don't particularly care for. No, I don't. I have my own channel. It's not dogpiling. I'm giving my opinions on what I see and what I'm passionate about. It's not about taking this one side or taking that one side or taking this one side. That's not what it's about. And people need to fucking remember that. Just because you're calling someone's behaviors out doesn't mean you're joining the dark side or you're whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. I hate that expression because it's stupid.
At a certain point, yes. To a certain degree, no. But once you pass that point, then yeah. Oh, shit. Hold on.
That's true, Yarn.
No, I'm not available for a field trip. Fuck out of here. They all want a court case because they've seen it as a profitable grift. Yes, Les. Then when it gets real, some try to do it on the cheap and pocket the cash. Yeah, and then that's another thing. I'll be goddamn if I keep seeing super chats from B Tim and hearing Queen B say, where's the 8K? Where's the 8K, Brittney J? I'll be goddamn, where's the 150K, Queen B? Shut the fuck up. And that's the whole reason I started covering this in the first place. It wasn't because I thought Brittney was right and they were wrong. It's because they were constantly calling Brittney J out for the same shit they do. To me, that's fucked up. You shouldn't. That would be like me going and calling, that would be like me going and calling Nanny Sharon out for getting a FOIA on a creator. No, if you've done it, if you do it currently, how do you have the right to point your finger at her for the lies she tells, the things she does that doesn't make sense to y'all, the shit Craig does that doesn't make sense to y'all, while y'all are all doing the same fucking thing? The B really should hush.
Yeah, it's the real pecan pie. She secretly likes me. Just don't ever tell anyone. But yeah, Pecan comes in here a lot.
She sure fucking should. She sure fucking should.
And I don't disagree with her on that at all.
Yeah, worse, Lana. Worse. Like, they'll be pointing their finger at Brittney for doing something while they've done it 10 times worse. It's like, how dare you?
And although I agree with her, it's not about QB. QB's issues are completely separate, and I agree with everything Joneson is saying. I really, truly do. But that, two things can be true. And Brittney, QB scamming her subs, that's for her subs to deal with. Brittney scamming her subs, that's for Brittney to deal with. But just like you have an opinion on QB, we can have an opinion on Brittney. You see what I'm saying? Like, both of them could be doing the wrong thing. Here's the big difference, though. QB didn't start her lawsuit. Brittney did. QB wasn't the one who initiated all this bullshit. Betty did. That's the big difference that you can't forget. If QB was the one that started it, that's one thing. But she didn't. It was Betty that started it. And to me, that's a big difference. Do I think they both scam their communities? Absolutely. I'm not going to sit there and deny that. And QB actually had an attorney. Do I think that what was spent was anywhere near what she raised? No. Do I think she's using a lot of that funds for a custody fight? Absolutely. But if her subs, they're not stupid. They know she's not paying for a fucking custody lawyer and the other lawyer by herself. I'm sure they know she's using, that money. It's still going to a lawyer, though. And a lawyer that's on record.
Be covering this bitch day in and day out, every minute of every fucking day. You're covering Brittney J, and you're calling her out for the same shit you do. Hello? Where does that make any sense? Yeah, Soup, and she wants a lifetime RO on Center. That's even more.
And guys, don't be shy to send super chats, memberships. Don't be shy about it. I see you guys really shy in here. You don't have to be shy. I more than accept cash apps, super chats, memberships. All's welcome.
So Queen B is currently trying to get a lifetime RO on Center and has the gall and the audacity to sit her ugly ass up on that fucking panel and say something about Brittney J getting a RO, a temporary RO on Clue and Cletus. Nah, bitch, miss me with that shit.
I didn't get any papers, nothing. I was told to show up today.
So she's saying after her meeting with them, with the judge on October 3rd, she was not The date October 6th was not even mentioned to her. The next date she was told was October 13th. Could that have happened? Yes. Would it have been the court's fault? Yes, because they're supposed to notify you of these things and schedule these things with you. So did it really happen that way? I don't fucking know. Again, trick or treat.
Yeah, and there's not.
Yeah, that's the only reason, Lana. That is legit the only reason I started covering it, because it was like, damn, this one bitch has like 12 creators covering her full time right now. At some points, redirecting to each other. That is some weird shit, considering y'all are covering her, pointing out things she does, while y'all sit there and do the same thing or have done the same thing. The audacity. When you have dirty fucking hands, you don't get to point your dirty fucking finger at people. It's pretty simple. Don't call people out for shit that you yourself do.
Subscribers that support. I'm not doing this for anybody
Like
else, but for this.
Clue calls her a liar. Said on last night's stream that she's just a liar. Well, so are you, bitch. So who are you to call her out?
Subscribers that support my channel. This is not for any of the hate watchers. I know this is feeding the trolls. I'm very aware of that. Hold on. Completely different. No, just Arian. Completely different. Completely different.
Hold on.
The only thing.
I want to read this comment. But why did Clue and Cletus know when to be there? Because they were sent paperwork subpoenaing. They were sent subpoenas. They wasn't sent paperwork saying the RO is granted against you.
Thank you, niece. For someone who's not being shy. Thank you. And guys, hit the thumbs up.
Were sent subpoenas to show up for this RO that Brittney was trying to get.
Thing that I really care about at this point, at least in
Right,
regards
Leon.
to YouTube.
Y'all over here pocket watching and checking this bitch for her 8,000. Meanwhile, this community is constantly being taken advantage of, having their heartstrings pulled by people crying about, Tony Mathis coming for them and Bullhorn Betty coming for them. Fuck. Y'all need to pocket watch your goddamn selves. That's what y'all need to do. And guess what? I can say what the fuck I want to about y'all's grifting, because I don't grift. I can say whatever the fuck I want, and there ain't shit you can come at me about with it. Not a fucking thing. Y'all are all grifters. Y'all want shit paid for you, and this is the lawsuit sector. And if it ain't the lawsuit, it's Amazon wish list, college wish list, everything for the subs to pay for. When are you subs gonna wake the fuck up? When are y'all gonna wake up?
It's for y'all to know the truth, because there's people saying that I didn't show up on the 6th, that I had a date and I just kind of laid out, and that today that
you didn't show up on the 6th. Whether you knew about it or not, you didn't show up on the 6th. But again, take the 6th out of there and just consider the 13th yesterday. You was still late. You still didn't have your shit together, which still in my mind makes me feel like, what the fuck is this, Brittney? There's no excuse for your shit have not been together and prepared.
I was 30 minutes late. That was not true at all. That was not true at all. I was not 30 minutes late. I was inside the courthouse.
Yeah.
I was inside the courthouse at 9:28. At 9:28, I was in the courthouse.
I heard Clue's got a toilet she can borrow.
I was told that I could take
9:28, she was
a
in the
flash drive.
courthouse. That is too late, dog. That is, like, is it because Brittney hasn't dealt with courts before? I don't know. But even if I have had to go to court one time for a speeding ticket, and I was there an hour early sitting in the.
No, I don't think Craig knows anything, to be honest. I really don't. Because, and the reason I say that, he made a comment, and nobody seems to correct him, but he made a comment how Brittney lost, Granny lost 2 lawsuits. Granny didn't lose the lawsuit, Craig. Your girlfriend did. So that's why I'm a little skeptical over if he knows anything, because no, I don't think I think she lies to him.
Benches just waiting, playing on my phone. Once court started, you had to put your phone up. We are allowed to take our phones, but that's traffic court
or a burner phone in.
But if I'm an
that.
hour early for traffic court, why can't you be 30 minutes early for such a serious fucking situation, bro?
But what happened?
Because she's a narcissist who doesn't give a fuck. That's why.
Was the lady that when I went through the metal detectors, she told me to go take my phone back out to the car, and that I could go get the phone when I came back in.
But see, she's literally thinking that 9:28 isn't late. Right, Stevie? Like, stop fucking giving y'all's money to these creators. Yeah, support them. Send them a super chat when they want. But y'all need to start recognizing grifts, baby. Dry begging, grifts. Hell, none of you did a whole live stream pretending to do all of it. Go catch up. And go get her. That's what I mean. Way too late. It's like she thinks, well, how was I late if I was there at 9:28 and court didn't start it until 9:30?
Holly, that's why I don't believe they said a burner phone. I think they may have said a phone that doesn't work, you know, a phone that has no service. That I can see, because that's technically like not having a phone because you can't record or anything like that if there's no service on it. But telling them, oh, you could have a burner phone? No, I don't believe that. Thank you, Holly. That part I don't believe.
You was late. 9:25 would have been late. 9:15 would have been late, in my opinion. Just saying.
And then I just feel like too many directions.
I know, Lacey.
No,
it's
not
sick.
yelling. Hold on, not on the live.
Oh, I don't doubt that she has been. I will say that, Shady. I think that she does have a lawyer, but I think that lawyer already fucked up with the cease and desist. That's not Brittney J's fault. That's his fault. The lawyer got the money. How was it a grift?
All right, I'm sorry, y'all. This is just.
Well, the part that.
Okay, let me also say this. I do not believe that Shady is this stupid and stands behind Brittney for everything. I don't. I think she just hates QB that much that's why she's running with this. Just my opinion. Because I just don't know Shady to be this fucking dumb. Shady, the lawyer, doesn't have the money because she doesn't have a lawyer.
It makes it a grift. Yes, she did what she was supposed to do with the money, right? But was it for subs to pay for that? That's why it's a grift, because you're requesting help from subs to pay for it, just like Queen requesting help from subs to pay for it. Granny requesting help from subs to pay for it. That whether it goes through and they use the money for what it's intended for or not, that's to be determined on some situations, right? Be right. But the asking for the money in the first place for something that is such a personal matter that you should be able to take care of it if need be.
This is just absolutely incredibly frustrating on so many levels, because at the end of the day, all this has been about, all that it is about has been to try to get some type of peace. That's all it's ever been about.
Well, Lindsay, that's why I struggle, because at the beginning I could have swore, and I'd have to go back and
Lindsay, stop being naive. There is no fucking attorney. Her attorney's not doing anything behind the scenes. Her attorney is not involved in anything. Her attorney never got more than $200 fucking dollars. That is what she showed a receipt for. All the other receipts are fake as fuck. If you don't believe me, go look at my live from yesterday. I prove all 3 invoices are completely fucking different. The only one that's real is a $200 one that she showed from her email. Everything else is fabricated.
listen, and I'm just not invested enough to do that. But I could have swore at the beginning she said that this was her doing it alone, like the attorney was not involved. He was involved with the cease and desist, and probably suggested she go do this, but that her doing the ROs was just her when she went to do them.
And it seems like no matter what I do, it just doesn't stop, and it's not going to stop. It's just going to keep getting worse.
Yes, you're right about that. It is going to continue to get worse now. If I'm not mistaken, Clue's live about her now. It's going to continue to get worse. And if you plan on doing anything from here, don't go live and dangle that shit in front of people to make them curious. Kind of like how you did with the missionaries. Again, you have every right to not necessarily believe that those were missionaries, especially with all the shit that's been being done. So credit to Brittney in that portion. But don't come on here and dangle shit, because then that makes people curious and they want to know, and they're going to beg for you to feed more information. If you are to do anything at all from here on out, and I know she won't listen to me because she ain't listened to me before about this, it would be shut the fuck
Rabbit hole 150%. Totally agree with that.
up and do it behind the scenes. The reason she won't shut the fuck up and do it behind the scenes, though, is because she has to have help to be able to do these things. And in order to have help, she has to be transparent with why she's raising money. It just is what it is.
And with each time, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And worse and worse and worse and worse.
It does. And you can only blame yourself this time. This time can only be put on you.
But anyway, so because I'm so over it, I went in.
What happened tonight? Hey, Sad Rising. What happened tonight?
After I took my phone to the car, I went in, sat down, waited. I was there for like an hour and 15 minutes. And then the judge said that they had done.
Misfit, I gotta tell you, this is what cracks me the fuck up. I have heard all of them say, this one jumped on a bandwagon, Laura jumped on a bandwagon, this one jumped on. Every single one of them have solely spoke about Brittney, one way or another. And it's like, you want to talk about other people talking about Brittney when every single one of you have solely talked about Brittney for every live. The only one that hasn't is Chasing. The rest of them, every single live.
Roll call and called everybody, and I was like, "Hold on, ma'am, you didn't." I raised my hand, and she said, "What's your name?" I told her, and then I guess their attorney, which was incredibly hateful, and he kept cutting the judge off. It was crazy. He says, "It was dismissed. We had a lack of evidence." And I was like, what?
Okay, so she's talking about Clue and Cletus's lawyer coming in hot over talking the judge, saying this was dismissed. That's because it was
I also do not believe that their lawyer was over talking the judge. Lawyers don't do that. They know better. They absolutely fucking know better. They are very respectful to judges. Why? Because they got to face these judges the next day, or they got to face this judge in another trial. They're not going to disrespect the judge. Now, do I believe that they probably cut you off? Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. They probably put you in your place like, no, bitch, it's done. But to say they cut off a judge, no, I don't believe that. I've never heard of a lawyer disrespect a judge. That would be like career suicide.
dismissed because you wasn't in there when they called you. So of course he's gonna fight for that dismissal to stand. Just because you here now, bitch. No, we've already dismissed this. Well, we did what we came here to do, right? Like they didn't want her being able to talk her way through it.
I haven't even presented my evidence yet. And the judge says, we called the roll call, and you weren't in here. And I said, I explained to her that I was here, but the jailer made me take my phone back outside, which was which had my evidence on it. And she said that, asked me if I had an attorney. I did. I told her yes, that, because it was such a short notice, that if they were doing a continuance, that my attorney be taken over. And then she said that for me that I needed to contact my attorney, that she couldn't advise me. And then that man was just like, I guess, I don't know if he's their attorney. I'm assuming he is. I didn't get his name. He just kept like cutting her off, like cutting the judge off. And he was like, it's dismissed. There's nothing you can do. And I'm like, what in the hell? Like, why?
Yeah. Sounds about legit. They didn't want you coming in and sweet talking that judge.
Jones, and that's not the way it works. They would not, she couldn't sweet talk a judge because if she could, there's nothing the lawyers could say against that. And this goes back to that you just really don't understand how courtrooms work, but that's just not the way it works. A lawyer is not going to sit there and talk over a judge hoping that the person can't sweet talk a judge. It just doesn't work like that.
And pulling on heartstrings because you was late and missed roll call. So they kept saying, no, it's dismissed. Fuck that. It's dismissed. As an attorney, I'd do the same thing.
It was just weird. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, if there's anybody saying that there was evidence shown.
That's the point. That is the point, Erica. Clue showed her paperwork. The problem is Brittney didn't show when she was told by the judge on October 3rd, come back October.
No, in North Carolina, for a civil restraining order, a judge can say that they need more evidence before they sign it. That I looked it up. They really can.
October 6th with more evidence against Cletus or whatever she said, the judge said. That was her opportunity to go home, spend the weekend, gathering what she needs, showing back up October 6th, presenting her evidence, having between the 6th and the 13th for the judge to go over the evidence as well as the other attorneys. And then
that's another thing. Clue and Cletus did ask for attorney's fees. They did not get them. I saw somebody, I don't know who it was, somebody in their chat today asked them about attorney's fees. They said we can't speak on it. So I think they're going after her for attorney's fees. I don't know. But the judge did not give it to them initially.
On the 13th, come to a decision. You failed because you didn't show up October 6th. But then, even because you didn't show up October 6th to present any evidence, you still had that opportunity October 13th. And because you walked your ass in that courtroom at 9:28, that shit was out the window.
That it was dismissed because they found no wrong. Like,
I don't understand the burner phone bullshit. I don't understand that at all. I don't understand, because she could say this burner phone and it be her personal phone. How are they gonna know? Nah, thumb drives for days.
I didn't get to show anything. My attorney, and
with a thumb drive, right then, think about it. With a thumb drive, right then, the judge could have given a continuance. If she would have been in there on time yesterday, the judge could have, before the case was dismissed, the judge could have put in a continuance to come back after and let her turn in the evidence yesterday. The court could have had the thumb drive. The other, Clue and Cletus's lawyer would have had the thumb drive. Boom, put it in, download the information, give the thumb drive back. Like, all of them could have got the evidence yesterday had she have been there on time.
And my attorney, and that's another thing, people keep saying, where's the money?
Well, some of the stuff you can't print out. Some of the stuff you can't print out. You can print out like comments and stuff, but like the things they say, you can't really print it out unless you use a transcript. But still, she could have put everything on a thumb drive, went yesterday, showed up on time, talked to the judge before it was dismissed. The judge could have said, okay, even though you wasn't here on Monday the 6th, I'm going to give you this chance now to present your evidence. Boom, boom, everybody gets the thumb drive. All right, I'm going to set it for this date for a decision. You have this long for us to go through the evidence. Call, you dismissed it. That's it. But had she have gotten there on time, she could have presented that evidence.
Probably shouldn't even said as much as I did, but people saying that I didn't show up or that it was dismissed and because there was found no wrongdoing.
MJ,
or
yes. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, okay, if she fucked up on October 6th, then fuck. It's just done. It's gone. It's out the window, right? It doesn't matter anymore. She still has the 13th. And because she couldn't get there on time and be fully prepared with thumb drives, not a burner phone. I don't know. The burner phone throws me off.
Freedom of speech, like nothing like that. Nothing was even, it was a mere technicality because I was made to go out to my car. And in my life, I wasn't on roll call.
I know you was agreeing. I was just saying, like, fuck, man. I ain't mad at you.
Some reason my keyboard is stuck, but I got it from Google.
I'm just frustrated by this because keeping it real, like, it's hard to get ROs on people. But I think personally, maybe she wouldn't have got them, but the attempt would have made more sense had she have been responsible and prepared for everything, anything and everything.
That's it.
And it
I didn't say anything about
possibly would have went through for her. And I think she had plenty.
Why couldn't the attorney get another
not
court
more
date
evidence.
Be there today?
I'm saying evidence because that's what they have been saying. But let's be clear, not more evidence, but more specific claims in that she would have been able to get one because she said a whole lot of bad things about Clue and Clue's child. Well, I haven't really heard her say much about Clue's child, but she did say things about Clue, bad things. But Clue and Cletus far surpassed the bad things that Brittney J said.
See, and I disagree with that. Clue and Cletus weren't even fucking with Brittney at first until that website went up, until Brittney thought that she was, on top of the world. Brittney thought that she's got one up on these two and she's going to go after them. How'd that work out for you, Britt? Joneson doesn't think of all that. Joneson's just thinking of the now. While after Brittney lost all of her people, and Brittney lost all of her mods, and Brittney, everyone turned on her, before that happened, she was on top of the world. She was saying whatever the fuck she wants. And just to prove this to you, Joneson, I don't say anything about Brittney's looks. I don't say anything about Brittney's life. I don't do any of that. She's the one that comes after me for that. And I still haven't done it. So imagine what it was like with Clue.
Did Brittney J say some fucked up things or allow fucked up things to happen on her panel? She absolutely did. But Cletus and Clue went way beyond that.
Because that's their personality. And honestly, Cletus didn't. Clue did. But that's Clue's personality. She knew that going into it when she was poking.
That's why I think she would have been able to get it.
She would have never been able to get it. It's words on the internet. They don't even live in the same state.
And then the fact of another thing that would have possibly stopped her from getting it is the interaction. Like, okay, you send cease and desist and you still keep poking. You send ROs and you still keep poking, you know?
There. And if I wasn't made to go back outside, I mean, it's almost supernatural how it's crazy.
Not.
It's absolutely crazy. I could.
So MJ says, he's threatening me is not specific. He verbally threatened me on September 4th, 2025 on a live stream with this link stating he was coming to my house tomorrow is an example of being more specific and less vague.
I couldn't.
But why did the judge even have to ask for that? Why was that not already prepared? If they said they had enough for Clue.
Do people not realize there's something called talking shit on the internet? I mean, for Brittney to take every single thing they say to heart, Clue pops off at the mouth because she talks shit. If you can't figure that out and you think that she's serious, then you're not listening hard enough.
Why was Cletus's even lacking? Because we all know Cletus is the one in the background, like pushing Clue to do this content. And he's only recently went to the background because people keep calling him out for being so fucking obsessed with another creator. It's weird.
You can file again, but you just can't use the same claims that you used before. I was not an hour late. That's a lie. I'm not sure where you got that from, but that's misinformation in my chat. Please, y'all are people say
it was dated a week prior. They didn't receive it. They overnighted the papers without changing the date, the C&Ds, and didn't make them needing to be signed for. That's another thing, Harley. BJ said she had proof they signed for the C&Ds, which turned out to not be true.
So tell me, how many more lies do you need from this girl to see that she's a fucking liar?
That's another thing. Like, it's lies like that make people not trust you.
Niece, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's fucking weak. I literally had way more people coming after me than she does.
Did you already put it in there? I'm going to cut my camera off.
No.
You're gawking at me?
I told you I was going to be staring frequently.
You are. that 1K that you lost seems to be a problem.
Thing she selected is that the plaintiff, which is in fact her, resides in the county, right, in this county.
Okay. This is where it turns. This is where I don't know if she starts listening to her chat, but you'll see the difference of now how she likes, how they're all for Brittney. Just listen.
And that the unlawful conduct occurred in this county. So that's the first claim she made. She didn't make any claim for I'm a victim of unlawful conduct that occurred in North Carolina.
And before we continue, she also said that she personally knew Clue and Cletus. From what they say.
Why would they lie about it? They're showing fucking paperwork.
I don't know if that's true, though.
The plaintiff is a...
Because they like to make everybody think, oh, Brittney J's the only one out here lying. No, they fucking lie too. A lot. And I've clocked them on a lot of lies.
Minor or incompetent. She didn't do any of that, right? And then the third box is the defendant was 16 years of age or older at the time of the unlawful conduct. And I want you to remember this right here because this is going to be important here in a few minutes. Number 3 on the complaint, just remember that, unchecked. Number 4, the defendant has committed non-consensual sexual conduct against the plaintiff. That was not checked. I don't know, I get how when you read this, that is especially the initial shock factor of somebody being dumb enough to do this over words on the internet.
You should have showed this back then when people were saying, she claimed Cletus is trying to rape her. She claimed, you could have shown this back then. She showed this.
Joneson, why would they show this before the court hearing? Of course they're not going to fucking show it. Why would they? To say that they should have shown this? No, they shouldn't have.
You could have verified it, whether you get along with her or not. You let everybody for days run around saying that she was accusing you of raping her and molesting her. Boy, stop. What kind of fuck? I would have been like, no. That's not what she's saying. I can't stand that bitch, but that's not what this is saying. Instead, you just let it roll.
Is impactful, but she did not make that claim. She was absolutely telling the truth about that.
She does have.
And then down at the bottom, number 5, the defendant has on more than one occasion and without legal purpose, and in this situation, I am the defendant, right? Followed or otherwise tormented, terrorized, or terrified the plaintiff named above with the intent to place the plaintiff in reasonable fear for the plaintiff's safety or the safety of the plaintiff's immediate family or close personal associates, or with the intent to cause, and which did cause, the plaintiff to suffer substantial emotional distress.
And by the way, the other reason why I don't believe that a clerk helped her fill it out, because one of the boxes says basically you over 16 years of age, and she didn't check that. A clerk would not miss paperwork that they see every day, so I don't believe that a clerk even helped her.
By placing the plaintiff in fear of death, bodily injury, or continued torment or terror in that, and then it says give specific details and describe in detail what happened and how, if placed the plaintiff in fear of safety or how it caused substantial emotional distress. So the claim she made, and this is the specificity that she gave, right? 9-2025.
No, it's not just words over the internet. I mean, CPS been showing up, cops been showing up, missionaries sent out to her house, people driving by, and others using that.
Honestly, and don't hate me, but I am really worried for Joneson. She's very overweight, and this is like her 4th cigarette in an hour. When she's not smoking, she's vaping. She's going to end up fucking with a heart attack by 50. Like, Joneson, I mean that seriously, dude. You got to fucking either quit smoking, lose weight, both, something for your own health.
Video of someone driving by her house as a threat. No, she has every right to be worried.
Posted a video threatening me because he was upset with me, saying he would give me what I asked for. Now 2025 is a month, right? But it's not a date. It's not very specific.
Well, he's got clues comment up, so I can't do nothing about that.
I have gone back through because, you know, despite the fact that I get pissed off, I am extremely fair and willing to evaluate and see if there's wrongdoing I have
She is
done
being
because I'm the
harassed.
first one to get in front of it, if that's what's happened. But I went back and looked, and I have yet to find this, anything like that. I haven't found anything that I have posted, and I haven't found anything where I was on a panel and said that at all. I don't.
Oh, see, I be watching my chat and miss stuff. Let me hear that again. Oh no.
9-2025. He posted a video threatening me because he was upset with me, saying he would give me what I asked for. Now, 9-2025 is a month, right? But it's not a date. It's not very specific.
But Yarn, I'm serious. I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm saying that she's got to think about her health. You don't think about it when you're in your 30s, but she's not getting younger, and she's in dangerous zone. She may not realize it, but she is. And I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm saying it because I'm really concerned. I don't think she realizes how much she smokes.
I have gone back through because, you know, despite the fact that I get pissed off, I am extremely fair and willing to evaluate and see if there's wrongdoing I have done because I'm the first one to get.
Bro, are we gonna pretend that we haven't heard Cletus rage quit clue streams like 10 times where he just fucking pops off and loses his ever-loving mind and then he leaves? Like, that's happened, right? More than once. I know a lot of us have seen it, right? So have I heard him say stuff like, I'll give you what you want or whatever, like things like that? Absolutely, I have. And it's in.
Again, who cares? He's talking shit. I don't, like, all right. Clue fans don't hate me. But do you really think that I think she thinks she's all that? No, I don't. Do I think Cletus thinks she's all that? Abso-fucking-lutely I do. But who's he to judge? The guy's missing almost all his teeth. He's got a beard to hide his face. Like, and I'm not being mean, but I think she just talks shit. Period. I don't believe half the things that she thinks she believes coming out of her mouth. I just don't. I think she just talks a lot of shit.
Those rage quits where he loses his fucking mind
In front of it, if that's what's happened. But I went back and looked, and I have yet to find this.
No, she shouldn't have
anything like that. I haven't.
No, she should be able to go on about her motherfucking business, and they should go on about their business.
Found anything that I have posted, and I haven't found anything where I was on a panel and said.
Yeah,
that,
they were deleted. They were deleted. Ugh.
I don't know. So at this moment, I'm saying I don't know where the fuck that's at because I don't recall ever saying it,
Right, big
and I
girl.
can't find where I said it. The second claim was he went live and called me a fat cunt. So I did find some reference to that.
I bet you found it several times because you say it a lot. Let's be real. You shouldn't have only had to search.
Nat, that's why I said, do I think he thinks she's all that? Absolutely. He absolutely does. And that's good. They should. You know what I mean? Your husband should adore you like that. Your fiance, they've been together a long time. I got mad respect for him. You know, he does. He thinks she is fucking the cat's meow. In his eyes, she is Cindy Crawford. You know, she does. He thinks he puts her on a pedestal, and I think that's awesome. But I'm saying, generally, they're talking shit.
One or two streams to find you calling her a fat cunt. You love to demean that woman in that way.
Because they talk shit, period. That doesn't, calling someone a fat cunt is not illegal.
The same way you think she loves to demean you as a pedophile. And I just haven't heard that.
believe it was the day that
Doesn't mean it happened, but I haven't heard it.
Clues Live went down, and then we switched over.
I've heard Craig say it in the background. I absolutely have heard Craig say that, and that's fucked up. But so is this.
Over to this channel, and she finished her live out. And I was, I did say the words fat cunt. Probably was referring to her because
No,
at the end of the day, she said,
I can't believe that they've listed fat cunt in this. To be quite honest, Allie, but
They didn't list it. Brittney did. And again, it's not illegal.
because no, that's his opinion, girl. But you saying, or Craig saying in the background, calling them chomos or pedophiles.
Yeah, you want to talk about erasing videos? Brittney goes live every day for at least 3 years, okay? So that's over 1,000 videos. If you go to her channel, it says she has 130 videos. Her main channel only has 130 videos. Yeah, that's what it says. Nice try, Brittney. So people want to talk about erasing videos? That would be Brittney.
Now that can be a little more taken more serious than a fat cunt.
that herself. She has no bones about it. She's fat. And I perceive her to be a royal cunt. So it's a factual statement per her definition, in my opinion, or her own perception
At least she's royal. At least she's royalty.
of herself, in my opinion, of her.
Yes.
It is what it is. The third claim was he makes videos constantly
see you,
talking about me
Rose
and threatening me and posts them to YouTube.
If I'm not seeing y'all's comments, because sometimes I'm on the Cletus screen. I'm not even looking at the Cletus screen and the chat. So if I don't see y'all's comments, send me some pieces. Send me some pieces.
So I went back and looked at my channel, right? And
Yeah,
I don't
Clue
see any
is
of that.
fat too.
I
I'm
don't.
fat. I'm fat. Look at that side profile. Look at it. I'm fat. Fuck out of here. You just want to be hateful. You just want to be hateful. That's all it is. And y'all, yes, what she did or allowed and even said herself was hateful. But the difference is y'all clapped back. She didn't clap back again. She hasn't continued, but y'all clapped back and then continued on your own. That's the difference here.
Number one, I wouldn't say the videos that I have made would be something that I would consider to be
Hey,
constant.
Fox, me too.
And
I love
the
it.
second, I would say the majority of my videos have been music and are up for interpretation. If they hit you a certain fucking way, good.
Shut up, fatty.
Sorry.
The big thing, let me stop with that and just say that's the claims that she made, right?
No, it's not,
Let me get
Mr.
to the next
Cheese.
page here. So what she did was file an ex parte, which means that
Oh my God, the bone collectors are part of the problem. There's a lot of problems here. There's parasocial problems. There's bone collector problems. There's a lot of problems here.
she feels there is imminent danger, right? There is an imminent threat.
I could see
And the way
that.
that these ex partes work, they're different in every state. I know here you
Please show me where they're so afraid of an imminent threat. There's not. They don't live in the fucking state. They talk shit. For example, if they were calling her, if people were knocking at her door that came from Clue and Cletus, or anyone for that matter, it doesn't even matter who it is, if they were harassing her family, basically like what Betty did to Crude as Fuck. Like they went on his family's webpage or something. I don't remember exactly, but like they went on his family's webpage and they fucked up her business or Etsy store, and they really fucked up her Etsy store. That I can see where you would be afraid. Clue and Cletus do nothing but talk shit online. And I'm sorry, but anyone that takes them seriously, you're not listening hard enough. Because I hear two people that just talk shit. that have no meat behind their threats because they don't do anything. They just talk shit.
Typically find out if it's granted or not on the spot. Apparently in this situation, it was
Because you know why, Remy, to keep it going, girl.
filed on October 2nd, and there was a hearing scheduled for October 6th, which was the following Monday.
Yes.
And what she said,
Yes, I played your clip of that, Shady, where because that's what I'm saying though, Shady. Like, yes, Brittney has done her part in this. She
I just gotta say, Natalie, when me and my ex were in court, we had to turn over to the judge. We had to turn over to the judge our Facebook post and our emails and stuff and phone conversations. And I remember the judge stopped dead in his tracks and he said, "How do two adults talk like this?" He thought we were like the biggest fucking losers in the whole world because we were like, "Fuck you, asshole. Fuck you, piece of shit. You know, I'm going to do this. It was fucking funny. My lawyer said, "This is how a judge sees it." I'm like, oh my God, I feel so dumb.
has done some fucked up shit too. But once it was addressed by them and they
Yarn, I agree 100%.
clapped back, it could have just stopped there when Brittney didn't say anything else. Instead, it's just kept going.
UA, I mean that you hear Clue and Cletus like, "I'm going to show up at your house and I'm going to do this. And, you know, let's get a drone behind it." Please, you're just talking shit on the internet. That's what I meant.
Yes, chasing. Oh my God. Yes. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Shady, if you got, oh, you're not a mod. Fuck. And you hate me too much. I can't make you a mod, bitch. Let me see. It was a short, right? Let me come over here. Now, all the chats are bad too. Sometimes the chats are worse. Okay, tales from the questionable hills with Clue and Cletus. What's going on? No, it was longer than this. It was, I thought, a little while back. Stay.
But that's what I'm saying. Clue, here's what I've heard from Clue. Whenever somebody talks about doing something shady, she's like, "No, don't do it. No, don't do it." Someone in her chat lied saying that I called her attorney, which isn't true. But she said, "No, nobody called the attorney." Like, she doesn't do real life shit. She's not harassing them in real life. She's talking shit on the internet. There's a huge difference. They're not doing anything to scare her. They're not doing anything in her real life. They're just talking shit on the internet. And she took it to a whole new level.
Stay, chasing. I'm going to find it for you and play it. And they insinuated Craig was a pedophile. And then it just went from there. And I think this was the second time. That they said something about Craig.
And truth be told, well, never mind.
Woman, when something too true comes up and be like, whoa, like all threatening.
Oh, well, she just now made a, oh,
She always yells. She can't talk regular.
"Oh, look,
I don't know if it's like she needs attention that bad. What?
I think she's talking about the video. She just now made a play it."
An hour ago, it just showed up on my post. She actually just made a short about Sinner.
Oh, did she? Oh, look.
Confession
Well,
of
she
a
did.
self-snitching predator squad.
No,
So she's
bitch.
calling all of us a predator squad now.
She
Yeah.
wants to use the word predator. Okay, no, that's a good,
Right.
good plan, Brittany. Good plan. 'Cause some of us
Hold
don't
on,
do shit for
pause
comfort.
it. I find it really funny, Craig, that you put the word child in it. I do find that really interesting because that's not what I said. I said predator. I read the definition of the context that I used it in a few minutes ago.
I'm telling you, they ought to get
Why are
him.
you
You're right, but here's the thing. Every single thing that I've seen from them, they're not going real life. They're just talking shit. Hey, Tony. They talk a good game, but from everything I've seen from them, they're not real lifers. They want to give off like, here's the other thing. People call her a shock jock. Well, you can't be a shock jock and a real lifer in the same sentence. It's one or the other.
so interested in child predators, Craig?
They ought to put him in front of a monitor and show him certain pictures and see if his dick gets hard. Just
Maybe
saying.
maybe you and I'll just
Sick bitch. Sick bitch. All right. We're back over to the paperwork.
said was, because of these acts of unlawful conduct, the plaintiff requests the court grant the following relief. And she didn't select, well, she said basically a permanent no contact order. So that's one thing that she's asking for, right? And then she didn't select a temporary no contact order. She selected number 3, a temporary order to be issued ex parte, which means without notice to the defendant, so that I can't have my case heard before she gets her protection that she feels she's justified and due per the law, right? Because
I don't even blame her for choosing that option. Shit. Y'all, you be talking about you got relatives down the road from me and talking about, joking about flying your drones over me and laughing at the video of somebody driving by my house. Shit, I'd be a little worried too now. I'd be a little worried too.
the plaintiff will suffer immediate
Like,
injury,
these folks are going too far, man.
loss, or damage before the defendant can be heard in that. And this is her explanation of why she feels like
I
it's
agree.
imminent
I
threat
agree with
if
that.
she doesn't get the temporary. Her response, and mind you, this is for me, not Clue. This is mine. Her statement is, she knows where I live, and I feel like this order will make things worse.
So she's saying Clue knows where she lives, and getting this order out on Clue's partner, what could, I don't know. I don't understand it. Could make Clue lose her motherfucking mind. I don't know.
I've never identified it as a she. No shame to anybody that does, but I find it quite fucking hilarious that,
Chasing,
especially
bitch, you coming in late. That was my whole first part of this live, is the preparedness was not there. It was completely absent, not even lacking, just gone, not non-existent. Yes, so did Cletus. Yeah, there's her signature. Yes, she did sign off on it. Yeah.
Oh, wait. Didn't she say that they weren't signed? Well, look at that. There's her signature. There's the judge. Oh, no, that's her. There's the judge. There's the date. But I thought she didn't sign. I thought they weren't signed yet, Brittney. Yet another lie.
Sorry, I had to cough. Things going in her favor if she would have been prepared and ready to go.
here in a few minutes, you'll
All right, this is something that I am so fucking sick and tired of seeing and hearing from Brittney supporters. Brittney supporters say constantly, not to mention there's been uncountable times someone has gone real life on Brittney like CPS calls, but that's not Cletus and that's not Clue. So why the fuck are they getting the blame for everything? Unless you have proof that they did it, because if you want to say, okay, maybe it's because of they have a big draw on their chat, Well, so does Jay, so does Queen Bee, so does Granny, so does Trish. So how the fuck are you going to say it's only Clue and Cletus? Sorry, Amy, you can't blame them for that. Brittney wants to do every single thing that ever happened to her on Clue and Cletus. No, it has nothing to do with them. Unless you have proof.
We'll see why this is even more fucking hilarious. But she referred to me as a she. It is what it is. Maybe that's how she feels. I don't know.
Maybe.
The other criteria that were listed here, she didn't check off on. And then boxes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, she checked, right? And mind you, this is an online form. So this complaint is something that you can absolutely get online. Hell, she's even shown it on her channel since this all happened. And you can absolutely fill it out online on your computer and print it. And I believe that's most likely what she did. That's my opinion because, I mean, quite frankly, it's typed and all the boxes are checked uniformly. So I think she filled it out on her computer and printed it off, which gives me less grace for the errors because that means that if that's true, that means you typed this out, you filled it in, had the opportunity to go back and review it.
Yeah, but she said the clerk helped. So if she did it online, what'd she do? Stay on the phone with the court clerk? But then
The clerk never helped her. That's another lie. Just saying. Because honestly, we see the paperwork. What the fuck would she need help for that? It's a standard form. You either check the boxes or you don't. There's nothing for a clerk to help you out with. It's pretty self-explanatory.
I think the court clerk filled this out for her. Maybe.
That's a hard no. The court clerk cannot give you legal advice. They cannot fucking help you fill out a paper, and they certainly can't fill it out for you.
And printed it out and she signed it.
That's a hard no.
And fucking did. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. But what she was asking for, to order the defendant not to visit, assault, molest, or otherwise interfere with the plaintiff. Now, I've seen a lot of videos coming out talking about that molest word and the context it's referring to.
Yeah, and you didn't clear anything up
In this complaint. And, you know, it is what it is. It's a fucking word. Are there interpretations of it that
So he ain't even gonna deny and correct it like full on, like, no, this is the legal definition. This is what they meant. He's just gonna leave it to y'all's imaginations. If you think that she was saying that he wanted to molest her, then goddamn, that's what it was. That's what it was.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but they did straighten it out. I specifically remember Clue and Cletus jumping up on either Jay's panel or Queen Bee's panel and totally straightened it out.
Not good. Not good. Because he was enjoying the drama, yeah. You probably heard in my mouth. You didn't hear a fart, not from me.
Shelby's funny because I thought the exact same thing. I'm like, look at Jones and farting right on camera.
I do be mouth farting a lot, though.
Disgusting? Absolutely. To me, especially, they fucking disgust me, the thought of it. But nevertheless, I don't know how it's fucking meant in the legal sense with this document, but that is what it says. Number 5 was to order the defendant to stop stalking the plaintiff. I've done a lot of research on stalking and cyber stalking because she has accused both of us in a piece of paper that she served here via FedEx under a flower pot, accused of.
What do y'all think? Do y'all think that they could be considered cyber stalking?
Stalking and cyber stalking. So I wanted to know more about it. I don't feel like anything that has gone on this internet rises to that level, but, you know, it is what it is. Number 6 was to order the defendant to see.
What do y'all think? I'm going to pause it there. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that what they did could be considered cyber?
Absolutely not. And I'll tell you why. They don't go after her. They review her. If she's not live or she doesn't have a review, they're not going after her family. They're not going after her kids. They're not calling the kids' school. They're not putting up fake websites. They're not in their real life. So I'm going to say a hard no on cyber stalking.
Stalking? I don't, because they blamed her playing the video, saying she showed the video of someone driving by her house, and she did not show it on her stream. Queen showed it, and then Queen showed it with her up there. So she didn't actually play it though. So, and that's the main thing she had against Clue. Now, then she had them joking about the trail cams probably and the drones, right? Do I think they was finna fucking do any of that? I absolutely don't. But I don't know. If a dude was obsessed with me like that and his partner was right there with him, I'm just saying. It's weird. It's weird. Yeah, I agree, Jason. Harassment, yes. Cyberbullying, yes. Stalking, I can't get with the stalker part. But that's just my opinion.
Harassment of the plaintiff. I've also done quite a bit of research on harassment. And one of the key things that seems to hold is that there has to be some type of direct contact. That don't hold me to that. I'm not a legal professional. I'm just telling you what I have researched and some conversations I have had.
You're right, perfectly. He has.
That seems to be what has historically been upheld. I don't feel like any of that's been done either. In some of the conversations I've had, almost every conversation I've had.
Same, Hakab, because they weren't the ones that called CPS, but a big time follower and hater of Brittney, an ex-mod of Brittney's, did it, and they were always in Clues. Somebody set those missionaries up. These people are fucking reckless, but it's never like Queen played the video. It's never Clue. It's other people outside of Clue and Cletus. They run their fucking mouths. And everybody gets everybody hyped the fuck up. Like, gets everybody fucking
Even if that's the case, that they get people hyped up or whatever, that's not illegal. They're not telling people to do this, this, and this. They're not telling people to follow them. All they're doing is talking shit on the internet. That's it. That's not illegal.
Going wild about this shit. And then they shut down and continue on, and subs are fired up going to the next chat, and then the next chat, and then the next chat of just.
But that's not on them. It's not their fault. That's not, unless someone proves that they did this because Clue and Cletus made them or forced them or put a gun to their head and told them if they didn't do it, they were going to die, then they can be held responsible. But this is the internet. People don't even know them. They've never even met them. If they get so worked up because Clue and Cletus, that's their problem. That's not Clue and Cletus's problem.
Hate for Brittney J. I'm just saying.
During that conversation about the situation, almost every single fucking professional that I spoke with said she has the ability to not watch. Mm-hmm. And I said, that's my thought too. And mind you,
that's true. She has the ability to not watch. But there are There are still people doing these things that has nothing to do with watching anything other than they're watching y'all spew your hate. And then
But Jonesin, she's not coming online all innocent. She's not coming online and doing anything to make it stop. She's not coming online and not talking shit. She's not coming online and not nodding out. All of the things that they go after her for, she comes on night after night, day after day, doing the same fucking things that she gets called out for. She's doing nothing to stop it. The law is not going to stop it. Who has the power to stop it is Brittney. Don't do the same things night after night after night, but she does. That's where all of this means nothing.
they're taking it real life. They're taking it to the streets, whether it be by phone or literally to the streets. This ain't about her watching y'all. It really does come down to incitement.
I've explained the entire situation with Betty to everybody I've spoken with and explained that,
And incitement absolutely would be 100% because has she ever called CPS? No.
Do you understand what incitement is, Jonesin? Incitement would be that they're actively telling people to fuck with Brittney. They're actively making people fuck with Brittney. They're not doing any of that. They're just talking shit on the internet.
Has she dog whistled CPS? Yes. Has she blatantly told her subscribers, I'm not going to call, but someone should? Yes, she has.
I wasn't for it.
Have you not seen what goes on in that house? I honestly, have you not seen it? Have you not seen Craig be drunk every night, her nodding out, and there's 2 young kids in the house? I'm just saying.
Those protective orders. I was not in agreement with them. I thought it was overstepping. But once I heard what the judge had to say, and that, the crossing the line was coming here and seeking these people out.
So if the LDS is 100% because of YouTube, then why did Brittney tell Shayna, oh, I just got the email? Why would she do that in a private text? Just so happens to be the night before LDS shows up. You don't find that a little suspicious? I'm sorry, I do. I find that a little odd. What email was so important that you had to tell Shayna in a private text? Ooh, Shayna, we just got the email. Was that the email for confirmation? What email was that, Brittney?
That is a different scenario.
I would fucking watch. She has, but she does. We all have the capability of not watching. And I have gotten to that point with the bee is I just don't watch.
Girl, bye. If someone is showing my home, my child's dad, obituaries of family members, I'm going to watch and do something. Chronicles, what are you going to do? Honestly, what are you going to do? You're going to fire back? Because let me remind you how all this started. Brittney, not Clue, Brittney showed, I don't think her home, but showed her child's dad, showed what happened to her daughter, and showed family members, and also accused Clue of being related to Chris Proudfoot and went after her. So should Clue have done nothing? Should Clue have just said nothing? Oh, yeah, you're right. So let's go on your own word, Shady. Yeah. Clue did the right thing. Oh, Brandywine did all that. Brandy is not Clue. There you go.
Unless it's something pertinent and I'm told something and I need to go hear it for myself. Outside of that, I just don't.
And let me also state, I'm not a Clue fan at all. I kind of like Cletus, but I'm not a Clue fan.
Because I don't want that back and forth. I don't want the tit for tat. I ain't even interested in it. But I'm also not here to make a living. And she.
No, Yarn. Clue didn't show BJ's ex until after all this went down. Until after she got a restraining. I'm sorry, not restraining order. After she made the website, or Kim and Crafton made the website about Clue's ex, Brittney actually started this with Clue. Clue warned her, I'm not the one to fuck with. You don't want to keep talking about me, Brittney. You just don't. And Brittney couldn't shut the fuck up. And Brittney showed her daughter. Brittney showed everything. And Brittney apologized. She apologized. But, yeah. Brittney did start all this. Clue didn't show anything until Brittney made that website.
She's past that.
And that's the way I feel about it. Number 7 was to order the defendant to not abuse or injure the plaintiff. Well, that's kind of hard to do when you're not in the vicinity and have no one.
No, there's no actual contact between any of them. It's just, it's a slippery slope. I mean, she's damn.
No, it's not a slippery slope. That's the difference between a cyber stalking, harassment, and reviewing. They've never contacted her.
Near about to get like full on swatted. I know they call the CPS and then the cops coming a SWAT, but no, she about to get full on swatted. That's the way this is headed.
Intent to go in the vicinity, but nevertheless. Number 8 was to order the
That's
defendant
how
not.
these trolls and these shitty, hateful human beings get shit done. Is
Here, good example. Jay's the one that showed the Brittany's ex, and Jay didn't even get a C&D. Jay got nothing. Nonsense got nothing. Why? Oh, yeah, that's right, because you still need someone to have drama with. My bad.
by just anonymously going out and doing shit, making calls, affecting the other person that they hate because their creator is in a fight with them. It's not okay. It's just not okay.
Contact by telephone, written communication, or electronic means, the plaintiff. This one I found really interesting because never had a phone call with her. I don't even know her fucking number, nor do I want to know her number or encourage anyone to know her fucking number. Nobody should give a fuck, in my opinion. So I've never contacted her, never had a telephone call with her. The only written communication that I recall ever having toward her was in her chat asking her for a link because this shit doesn't have to be taken this seriously. And in response, I was blocked.
That's true.
And blocked from the backstage under Clue's account, my account, and one that I didn't even realize I wasn't logged in. So it was just a random person. She blocked all fucking three.
Well, I was blocked under my account.
Yeah.
Is what you mean.
Or electronic means, right? So that's the last thing, electronic means. Now it's been, I did a lot of research on this because I thought the arguments Betty had either both for her own position and against her position at different times.
Not much, J Fox. It's everybody around them, but they're like the head honchos of the hate train, like the head conductors, right? And everybody's doing stuff around them for them, whether directly or indirectly, whether they want it or not. Like, that's just what's happening.
Were real arguments I was interested in. And her argument was hashtagging people isn't contact. It's not even indirect contact. And the way I understand the judge here, that was upheld. And it seems like, from my interpretation, it is upheld pretty much across the board. The only way that implied contact can really be had is if you tag somebody, like on YouTube, if you do the @ right? If you did an @ allegedly with blah, 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 then there's an argument to be had that you're trying to get their attention.
I would normally agree with that because some of my closest YouTube friends have had these kind of issues with Brittney J. Everybody knows that. And even though they heed the warnings, right, or no, they give the warnings, or even if it's not, they've never really like just said, no, don't fucking do it. It's a bad idea. But you know what I'm saying? If you hear their stories, so you know that things are not right. But I don't think any of the previous drama with all these people has gone quite this far. I don't know. I've never heard of the courts being involved with Brittney J and another creator. I don't feel like it's gone quite this far.
But it doesn't appear to me that reviewing people's content and criticizing it, commentating on it, is any attempt at contact. That's what my understanding of the situation. Number 9 was to order the defendant to refrain from entering or remain.
I don't know, Chasen, because the attorney was not brought in until the second day. So she filed on the 2nd with the court clerk's help. She goes back on the 3rd. The judge says, we got enough for Clue, not enough for Cletus. Do you have an attorney? She says, yes.
Jonesy, you're repeating a lie. That's not what happened. That's the story she gave, but you're repeating a lie. Chasing is right. Why the hell didn't she submit all that to an attorney and have them handle it? Because she doesn't have an attorney. That's why.
I have an attorney, but he's not here because he thought this was going to be continued, which is weird because attorneys don't just assume shit when it comes to courts. And then after that, he told her, okay, we need more details on Cletus, and I'd advise you get your lawyer involved.
Claudia, my personal opinion, yeah, she does.
And have him go over your shit. So the judge is the one that brought the lawyer in. This all started with her doing it on her own, probably with his advisement. But the judge is the one that brought the lawyer in by asking her, oh, well, do you have a lawyer? That's what I think. No, she didn't show up on the 6th, but even the 6th was the date to show everything. And she didn't show up. Whether she knew or didn't know, I don't know. I can't determine that. But she did not show up to that one. Okay. So, yeah, you missed your shot to show all your evidence, but you still got one more shot. You still got when you come back on the 13th and you know about that day. You still got that shot. So why would you not take that shot and benefit from it and make sure you had your shit together?
Being present at the plaintiff's residence, school, place of employment, or other places specified. Haven't fucking had any interest in going anywhere near that fucking town or her or anything else, but that's what she filed. So let's go to the next page. This was the civil summons that once we were served officially full packet service on the 8th, so last Wednesday, this was in there, right? The civil summons. I'm not going to read all of this, but I just wanted to throw everything in here for full transparency on it.
I agree, Mom.
Hang on one second. So this is the return of service that I signed, or a copy of it. So this is the notice of hearing, right, for the order. And it says a hearing will be held before a district court judge at the date, time, and location indicated below. At that hearing, it will be determined whether a permanent no contact order should be granted. The hearing was 10/13, 9:30 a.m. That's today, right?
And yeah, because she walked through the metal detector at 9:28.
And this was issued on 10/2. So they had set the hearing for 10/13 when she filed this.
Okay, so Thursday when she filed it, They set the hearing for the 13th. Okay.
They did.
There's key words in this that I think people are missing. The one on the 13th, it says right there, a permanent restraining order will be set on the 13th. Well, before you have it a permanent, you have to have a temporary. So she would need to have shown, she would have known the 6th was the temporary, and the 13th, which is usually done a week later, sometimes, up to 14 days, depending on the state, is when you decide on the permanent. The paperwork is right there. So that proves to me that she's fucking lying about the temporary that she needed so desperately. But I didn't hear that the first time, that this paper specifically stated it's for the permanent. Well, you can't have a permanent without a temporary. So add that like lie number 25.
But she went on the 3rd too, the day after she filed. And that's when the judge asked her if she had a lawyer and said that he would advise the lawyer to go over her ROs.
File this notice of hearing until October 6th. And I can only assume that's because they had the ex parte hearing on October the 6th. And they were waiting for that to be resolved before they filed this notice of hearing.
And that's the one she missed, but they still sent it out, right? Am I wrong there? Y'all let me know. They still sent it out, even though she didn't show up on the 6th.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Identifying information about defendant, domestic violence action. This one kind of got me, but then I did some research on it and I realized it's just a standard. It's kind of a procedural thing when somebody files a North Carolina GS50C, the 50B-3 section D is included in that. But what I thought was funny about this was information about defendant, right? And she had my date of birth, which I'm kind of curious considering you call me a fucking stalker, but bitch, until you fucking sent this, I didn't know your fucking date of birth, but you somehow had mine. I find that really fucking interesting. Mm-hmm. She marked race as white. Okay. She marked sex as female. And I'm like, at this point, am I supposed to?
I would offer y'all a link, but I'm about to have to cook dinner. I'm about to have to cook dinner after we review this.
Take this as you were taking jabs at me through a court filing? Or do you truly see me as a woman? I don't know. I don't care, whatever.
Okay, so when she didn't show up on the 6th, that means that they just sent them out to both of them.
Someone's got to get some memberships going around here.
Without the ex parte, because she wasn't there to fight for the ex parte. Okay, got it. So ex parte is thrown away, done away with because she didn't show up, but they're still gonna get subpoenaed. But they're gonna know what for. Okay, got it.
I don't give a fuck how you see me. But I thought that was funny, right? 5'11", 200 pounds, brown, bald on top for hair color, and tattoo on.
He knows her fucking birthday. Miss me with the shit. I'm telling you.
Forearm, Ricky, R-I-K-K-I, right? And I do.
This is my point. Brittney J ain't the only one that's ever caught up in line.
I have a tattoo of her name on my forearm.
5'11".
Yeah, she says I'm 5'11".
Good night.
Oh, it gets better. It gets better, right? Y'all keep in mind all of these things. So I'm significantly taller than 5'11". Well, not significantly, a few inches. I'm heavier than 200 pounds. I do have the tattoo, but I am not a female, right? Remember these things now, these things that are wrong here. Because
so he's marked female. Okay. I gotta read this question. This would. I can't either, Jason. Like, I said, screwed the pooch and soups, and she said, I have not heard that in so long. I also said it in the Discord, and they said, be careful saying that out loud. Because,
Thank you, Tony.
Cats and everything. But that's all I can think of. That's all I can think of to describe this moment, like, and what has
Thank you, Spike. Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
happened. She screwed the pooch.
It's going to be important in a second. But this was something else I felt interesting.
That might be a country saying. Is that a country saying? Chasen, have you heard that before?
Too. Does the defendant have a permit to purchase a handgun or crossbow? And the answer was no. And I'm like, well, now how would you know if I do or not?
Right.
Because we have clearly stated we are pro 2A. And you know, there have been videos and commentary made about, well, Cletus showed his pew.
Oh, yeah. Why did she mark no on that? Does the defendant have a permit to purchase a handgun or crossbow? Oh.
Here's my theory on it. Okay? I could be wrong, but here's my theory. My theory is because if it did go through, they would take his guns. She did not want that because none of this does she take seriously. So she doesn't want him to lose his guns. She doesn't want him to do anything that's going to hurt him because none of this is true. None of this is real to her. It's all a big fucking game. That's just my opinion. I'm sorry, but is Chasen the only one in our chat because it's only one she seems to be interacting with? Oh, you mean in her chat? You mean in Jones's chat? No, she had like 400 people in there. It's because you don't need a permit to carry in Tennessee. No, I think it's deeper than that. I really do.
Oh, no, it says if known. I was about to say maybe she hit no because it says if yes, state which law enforcement agency issued the permit if known. So she could have still marked yes. That's weird.
Which was false. And
Yeah.
Clue showed her pew, which was true. But I thought it was interesting nonetheless.
Thank you, Amber. Welcome, Tragedy Pimp. She's not deep, but she's very manipulative.
Yes.
Can I just clarify?
Yeah.
Because this question has been asked on more than one occasion, or twice, at least in the chat. Yes, these papers came on different days.
Well, so this packet that I'm showing right here is all, this all arrived together on October the
wasn't
8th.
it.
Yes, it was. This was in the October the 8th packet last Wednesday. The first two pages I showed were all I received on October the 6th. What?
I don't remember seeing this one.
Well, I
This
know
is
you
what
don't.
came with that second part because
Right,
I read out.
that's what I'm saying. The second part was October 8th.
Yeah, this
I
part.
don't know.
Right.
Yeah. The other thing that I thought was interesting was, does the defendant have a permit to carry a concealed handgun? No. Well, again, how the fuck do you know if I do or not? And why would you
Right.
not assume that I do? I'm just asking, considering you know we're pro 2A, openly speak about that. Why would you assume I'm not? Is there any reason that a law enforcement officer should consider the defendant a potential threat? She marked no. I do appreciate that because I am not a threat. I am not a threat to anyone. I'm not a threat to law enforcement specifically, but I'm damn sure
That's what it seems like, Melissa.
not a threat to anybody that doesn't come on my property and threaten me or my family. It just is what it is. But I thought that was interesting because I believe if I were in fear over somebody and you know, just thought they were
They're
awful,
dangerous.
they're dangerous, I would damn sure try to
No.
mark that as yes and expand
Brittney wouldn't last 5 minutes at a real job. She'd be fired in the first week.
on the reasons why.
Right.
But, you know, nevertheless, it is what it is. Let's get to the next page here. Yeah. This is what I've been saying, y'all. Hang on, because this is funny to me. I fucking laughed hard about this. So this is the Service Member Civil Relief Act declaration, and this is just something that's filled out to
Yeah, reality. You're always welcome over here. And you're trying to give your perspective and your opinion, and you're having cordial conversation right now with people in here, and that's what's necessary.
basically give so that if somebody is in the service and they're not, I guess basically so that they're able to be served and everything kind of follows a realistic timeline based on that. I'm assuming. I don't know. But the answers to this were very, very fucking interesting to me. I, the undersigned declarant, which is her, under penalty of perjury, declare the following to be true. As of the current date, I have personal knowledge that the defendant named above is not in military service.
How do you know that?
In fairness, I think that's reasonable to assume, considering we're home all the time. I can kind of give credit on that one, right? That's a fair response.
I mean, the National Guard, they meet on the weekends.
Right, but I think it's a reasonable response to say, now the personal knowledge part was the part that fucked me up,
That's what I'm
because
saying.
that's saying that you fucking know me. You know anything about me other than what I have stated on the fucking internet, which has been very fucking little, to be fair. Far less than what she has. She says, as of the current date,
Is that bitch in the background eating right now? I cannot. Oh, no.
have not received a copy of a military order from the defendant named above relating to state active duty as a member of North Carolina National Guard, blah, 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 blah. So basically saying she has not received anything saying I'm a member of the National Guard of North Carolina. And she says, I did not use the Service Member Civil Relief Act website to determine the defendant's military service. And I'm like, so you're really leaning on you have personal knowledge of this about me. Mm-hmm. And then she goes on, number 4, the following facts support my statement as to the defendant's military service. State how you know the defendant is or is not in the military. Be specific. I know him personally.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
No, I thought it.
Why would she put she knows him personally?
Did too, but on this one, she got it right. I know him personally.
Go back to point 1, because she's a fucking liar. That's why.
I took serious issue with this because these types of filings are not something to be fucking done out of spite or to be taken lightly when you do it. They are there for people who fucking need them, people that are in fucking danger from people that they know personally. And for you to fucking get on here and fill out this form half fucking heartedly to come at me and my fiance, and this is the goddamn level of effort you put into it and the lies you're willing to fucking tell going into it shows me exactly who the fuck you are.
Mm-hmm. I can't disagree with him on the effort part. I can't.
Why is it so hard for people to understand that this was nothing more than a show for her subs? She didn't want this to go through. She's not scared. None of that. This was, let me figure out how I can pretend that I'm spending money for my subscribers that have donated. That's all this was. I don't know why it's so fucking hard to see that. And I don't know why so many people are blinded. I don't believe Brittney is a moron. She speaks proper English for the most part, which is more than most of them can say. But I don't think she's an idiot. I really don't. I think she's very calculated, manipulative, and pretty much a narcissist. But with that said, she didn't want this to work. She didn't want this to go anywhere. She wanted this just for show. So she did things to make sure that it didn't go through. She did things to make sure that this wasn't going to actually do anything. This was specifically for show. And every step she's made on it shows that. And I just don't know why it's so hard for people to understand or to accept that. Oh, she definitely does. She has mods pressuring her, but I think she destroyed it on her own. That's why she was late for court. That's why she didn't show up on the 6th. She didn't really want it. She just needed to show something and needed a sympathy plot. So when it didn't go through, poor me, poor me. All for show.
Yeah, she could have made it known it was online. Yeah, misophonia. Yeah, me either, Jason. Like, he's not wrong on what he's saying right here.
You have no fucking empathy for anybody that's ever had to fill out one of these and needed it. There is no fucking way you do. This shows to me self-centeredness, selfishness, and just rabid fucking cunt. It just is what it is. That's my opinion. I don't see any other way to justify it than for that explanation to be what it is.
She doesn't know him personally. She just.
But she sure makes a lot of claims like she knows a lot about me, and I don't fucking know how. I would be real curious.
I couldn't tell you she had tattoos.
Huh?
I couldn't tell you she had tattoos.
No, and I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
I like to laugh. She gives endless fucking train wrecks.
That's what Nunya called it one day in the Discord, because she was talking while she was eating. She was like, I'm so sorry to whoever has mesothelioma. I cannot.
Content to laugh at.
All day and night.
Anyway, moving on.
Period. Perfectly.
This is just a second.
They're more, if we're talking trash wise, they're definitely trashier, nastier human beings than Brittney J is. Brittney J may be manipulative, may have her problems, may be a victim, a perpetual victim, some would say. But as in nasty, no, they're definitely the nastier ones.
Page of the Service Member Civil Relief Act.
Did you show that other page?
Which page, baby?
Where that one box was checked. So showing that she showed her audience.
I'm getting to that in a minute. Remember, y'all, box 3 on the first page was checked, and we're going to get to that after I get through this.
Lying bitch.
So this is the temporary no contact order. So what this is, the way I understand it, is if on October 6th she had won the ex parte, this would be filled out a little more, and the next.
Well, damn, that's a hell of a thought. I don't know. I doubt it. But that's an interesting thought.
Next page would say something different than what it does. So let me show. Oh, I did want to say this, right? She knows us personally, and she knows so much about us, but she fucking served us in a town that doesn't fucking exist. East Gallatin, Tennessee is not a fucking city. And you want to tell people to just Google things when, quite honestly, you wouldn't have been able to put that into fucking Google Maps and find it. You're an idiot. What were you going to say?
Look at your little hater. Congratulations, Cletus. I'm so glad you won Stalking Women Online. Let's do some coke with Croucher and search for Sebastian. It's more than BJ's fat ass would do. Just saying. Next.
Did you handle that?
Do you need a hug?
Did you handle that?
Oh, no.
Okay.
See if
Okay. Don't worry about it. I don't give a fuck. Run your fucking mouth. So this is the outcome of October 6th's hearing. And I'm sorry, it is funny and infuriating to me at the same fucking time, because again, bitch, if you're going to file something, take it fucking seriously. Take it seriously on the motherfucker you're filing it against, and take it seriously for the motherfuckers that these forms and these court appointments are scheduled for. The people that actually fucking need it. Show enough goddamn common courtesy, decency, and fucking respect to do your damn job. You're going to take responsibility enough to go fucking fill this out and file it. At least put some goddamn effort into it.
Lazy bitch.
The plaintiff has failed to prove grounds for issuance of a temporary no contact order. Well, let's see why. Number 8, other. Plaintiff did not show up on October 6th to be heard on this. So you go on Thursday afternoon and file this, but you won't show up on Monday to be fucking heard. Okay.
Shut up, fatty.
This was signed on October 6th at 10:39 a.m. and the the final hearing was scheduled for this morning at 9:30 a.m. It was certified on October 6th by the district court judge here. So let's move into what Clue's was. Clue got served on October 8th. Clue did not see paperwork the same day I did, the first time I did,
Another lie.
which was October 2nd. So sparring buzzer.
I was for a second doing a chair stream. I went and put my pork chops in the oven.
You can go fucking dust your fucking box off, you nasty bitch. You fucking get out here and make fucking lies. You're following Shady's fucking footsteps. Do better. Know what the fuck you're talking about before you fucking talk.
Old ass, wrinkly, nasty.
So I'm gonna
sprinkling dust, bitch.
I'm gonna go through this a little bit quicker, because quite frankly, a lot of this says a lot of the same. No, a lot of this is redundant. It looks exactly the same.
Fucking with you, go.
The big thing on this first page is that, and again, bitch, I blocked out your fucking address out of decency for you, even though I showed ours. So there, but I showed ours because it's already been fucking shown.
So is Brittney's though.
The only real difference
You're
here
such a
is this
decent
number 5 that claims
human.
that she
You're such a decent human. Brittany's address has been all over the place too, more than y'all's has.
makes. So again, they require specificity, right? Well, her details are 9-2025. She has made comments saying she was coming to NC to find me. I have went and looked.
Tony's gonna get my ass if he catches me smoking. I'm not supposed to be smoking, but I was craving today.
October 6th. So when I saw this, I'm like, well, it does appear that maybe there was an ex parte for Clue, but there just wasn't an explanation of why or what happened with it, right? So we were kind of running with the safe assumption that maybe there was one and we just didn't know about it. We couldn't get that verified, couldn't get anybody to say that it was. Everything indicated that she had actually tried to, and again, didn't show up, but couldn't really understand why it wasn't.
Now remember, according to Brittney, the judge said she had all the evidence for Clue. What evidence? You didn't present any evidence. So what was the evidence that you were supposed to have your lawyer look over or modify? What evidence, Brittney? What evidence did you show the judge just to get a hearing date? That would be a hard nothing, because you're a fucking liar.
Oh.
On the documentation, but I think it was because she filled out the wrong form. So there was nowhere for them to select.
It's not Monday. Is today Monday? No. No.
Damn.
So she
listens to what I say when I'm online, because I'm giving my weight out. I ain't ashamed of being no great big fat bitch. I like.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not even gonna go there.
I like to eat. Just sat here and ate 2
No,
donuts.
thank you.
What of it? And I'm also 5'4" and $1/4 inch. Get it right. Thought you personally knew me.
It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. I was like, the fuck? It is not Monday. Had me tripping.
Let's see. Again, she did the same thing for Clue as she did for me. She didn't mark anything on this that indicates that we're a danger, or that we potentially have a concealed carry permit, or that we have the permit to purchase a handgun or crossbow.
Tuesday? I mean, I guess it is. Is that what it comes across as? Tuesday? How do you say it then? She still is a victim of the harassment and the cyberbullying. They can't.
Brittney is not a victim of bullying and cyber harassing. She is not. Do you want to see a victim of bullying and cyber harassing? I can't think of anyone off the top of my head that doesn't engage. Because most people engage. But no, sorry, Jonesin. I completely disagree. She is fucking playing all of you, and you don't see it. You may see little things here and there, but you don't see the overall picture, and that is fucking crazy to me.
They can't change my mind on that unless they stop, you know?
How come she got all this money? How come she didn't send C&Ds to Jay or Nonsense? Just curious. Why didn't she send one overseas to Trish? I mean, why didn't she send one to fucking Brandy Wine? Brandy Wine is more obsessed with her than anybody. Why didn't she send one to be Tim or anybody else? Voices. Although I haven't heard Voices around lately. There's millions of people she could have sent him to at that $8,000. She didn't even send him to fucking Nonsense and Jay. She is not serious about this. She doesn't give a fuck. This was for show. The only thing she wanted was to show that she might be doing something with the money. That's it. And I can't believe it's so fucking hard for you to see.
Tuesday.
You know, I don't know how she can swear that that's the case because that's what you do when you sign this. But nevertheless, that's what she marked. Again.
Damn, Nonsense, you're 5'3".
Again, she said, I have personal knowledge that the defendant named above is not in military service. I'm going to ask again, how the fuck do you know that? How do you know anything about us?
Why are you getting so angry at that?
But you don't fucking dig on people. You don't.
Why are you so angry? Oh, Lord.
Don't have anybody that digs on people. How the fuck do you know any of this or don't know any of this? But if you don't know any of this, why would you undersign under penalty of perjury and declare
I'm still smoking that same cigarette, y'all.
that the following to be true? Why would you do that if you weren't fucking sure of what you're saying? And if you are sure, how the fuck are you sure? Why are you digging on people? You know that thing you want to get on here and fucking cry about constantly? Just ask it. So the same thing, right? The following facts support my statement as to the defendant's military service. I know her personally. Bitch, no, you don't. You don't know the fucking first thing about Clue. You don't know what the fuck it would be like to walk one fucking step in Clue's shoes because you aren't even in the same goddamn universe as you would need to be.
I mean, you can know she's a trash human being, but you really don't know her. You don't know what she does in her day-to-day life, you know?
To walk one fucking step in Cluminati's fucking shoes. You will never be the fucking woman she is. You will never be fucking close to it. You will never fucking know her. Let it fucking go.
It's facts. And thank you.
Oh, no.
You're welcome. This is the same thing here. This is so this would be, I think, the outcome of that hearing.
I feel like I know her to an extent, but there's always so much more that they don't show on the internet. I actually think she's a worse human than what she shows here, but I can't.
All right, thanks, Jen. Have a good night. Yeah, it's late by you.
I don't know her in day-to-day life, so I can't verify that. I cannot say that factually. I can only say that in my opinion. I think she's trash here and she's trashier off here, just to be quite honest.
On the 6th. So yeah, it is.
I can't say that about Brittney.
You don't fill out the proper.
You know what I'm saying? I can't say that about Brittney.
Fucking form for an ex parte. The judge has nowhere to give details, so they don't check anything. They just sign October 6th, 10:43 a.m.
Is that true?
What?
On that last page you were on, does it say in bold, leave blank if you don't know?
On the service members?
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go look.
Nikki said that.
I'm 5'7".
I don't see that.
I don't see that anywhere, but I'm scanning through it.
Yeah,
quickly
pumpkin pie. Yeah, but why that one remark did he, why did that outrage him the way that it did, Like, I get what he's saying. They really did just have to come out of pocket for some shit she didn't take serious. But why do they care? Why do they care? They're rich as fuck. They have the means to do it. They've been begging for it. So it's just money, right? It's nothing to them.
All right. Again, I'm so tired of hearing this. They are not rich. And maybe to some people they're rich. They're not rich. Trust me. But here's the thing. It doesn't matter if they're multimillionaires or if they're comfortable, or if they're poor, they still had to fucking lay out thousands of dollars to handle something that they shouldn't have had a fucking handle in the first place. Because this wasn't Brittney really being serious. This wasn't Brittney feeling threatened. This wasn't Brittney doing anything but saving Brittney's own fucking ass. And because of that, it costs them money. If this was something legit, that would be a different story. But it's not. It's a bunch of fucking bullshit. And they have every right to be fucking pissed.
So why are you so upset? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Hold
Look,
on.
I smoke a
Let me
cigarette.
get back
Smoke a cigarette. Then I have to fill up the room with my vape smoke. It's probably not going to work.
to this. So yeah, October 6th at 10:43 a.m., the district court judge signed off and didn't make any ruling at all. And I'm left to assume that's because there was nowhere for her.
I should.
Maybe I missed something. I don't find that hysterical at all.
Oh, that got my goat. Bro, I should not even be laughing at that out loud and highlighting it. Casey.
To list her ruling.
Oh,
What?
that's a good fucking. Perhaps she intentionally put East Gallatin so you wouldn't get the paperwork, as another creator did similar and was granted even though there was no proof of service.
Interesting. Well, fuck shit don't always work, especially when you put the proper zip code. Sorry.
You idiot.
So I want to go through what was filed as a result and was mailed to Brittney on 10/8. So mind you, we were served on 10/8, right? Fully served. That same day.
That was funny.
What you're about to see was filed in Scotland County Court and was also mailed to her.
Oh, what are you showing now?
Yeah, it could be not necessarily that's. I know he's saying that she's pretending to personally know them, which is a problem to me. I don't think she should have put this. Like, she could have said she personally knows them on the internet, because there's only so much you can personally know someone unless you do actually personally know someone. Like, I wouldn't even. I'd say me and Nunya and me and Deets. I would even say Chase and Allie and we all personally know each other. But how far does that personally go? You know what I'm saying? There's still stuff I haven't learned about Nunya and Chasen and Deets, and there's still stuff they haven't learned about me. So I don't know, like, but they've never even crossed paths, so that's a little different.
In the answer.
You said Cletus.
Yeah. So this is the motion to dismiss.
Jones, and what's the key word in personal? It's person. You can't personally know someone on the internet. You could know someone on the internet, but you can't personally know someone, because that would be person, in person.
That was filed on my behalf. Now comes the defendant, Cletus, by and through the undersigned counsel and pursuant to Rule 12B of the North Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure, subsection 1, subsection 1, lack of jurisdiction over the subject matter, lack of jurisdiction over the person, improper venue, and failure to state a claim upon which relief can be granted, respectfully moves this court to dismiss the plaintiff's complaint.
Now that's because her ass wasn't there. They won by default.
So jurisdiction over the subject matter. What my understanding of that would mean is that since we are in Tennessee, she is in North Carolina, and our only interactions have been reviewing each other's content and stating things on our own.
I do too. I put a lot of like my life on the internet, but there's like I put a lot of my life on the internet is really like an eighth of my life.
channels, anything that could be perceived as relevant to this. That's the extent of
Yeah.
it. She filed this in North Carolina, which has
Yeah. The reason for dismissal is because she wasn't there. They didn't have the information that they needed to grant relief to her, to give her that.
no jurisdiction over that. Lack of jurisdiction over the person. So the other challenge she had is
lots of
lack
them.
of jurisdiction over us, because we are in Tennessee and we don't have any connection to North Carolina.
Yes.
That
They call for her if she ain't there, but Clue and Cletus's attorneys are there, then yeah. Like, even if they wasn't, if nobody was there, it would have been dismissed. But especially because Clue and Cletus had attorneys there and she wasn't when they called, that's it. They made their case. That's why she said that the judge, that their lawyer was yelling over the judge while Brittney was trying to talk to her, because they felt like, no, we've settled this.
Okay. Like I said earlier, their attorneys were yelling over Brittney, not over the judge. It's exactly what I said earlier. No lawyers yelling over the judge. They were yelling over Brittney, rightfully so.
She wasn't here. She came in late. Oh, well, dismissed.
basically
right.
gives them jurisdiction. She was facing that uphill battle as well. Improper venue kind of combines those two, the way
They
I
do.
understand it, basically because, there is no jurisdiction. The venue is not valid for it to be heard in North.
Well, she could have, Lulu, she could have presented her evidence on the yesterday too, at the beginning. That would have, if the judge would have took her bringing in evidence yesterday, that would have gave them a continuance so that they would have time to review that. Not evidence. Melissa's going to get my ass. The details or whatever the word is.
Carolina. Number 6, failure to state a claim
It is
upon which relief can be
disrespectful.
granted. So again, you've got to be very specific and you've got to be very accurate with the things that you say when you fill one of these out. You cannot just say my fifis were hurt or I'm scared of big bad mean Clue and expect that to hold.
Of
You have to
course.
provide specifics because this is a legal filing, and with any legal filing, there needs to be specifics.
Thanks for being here.
So the second part of what was sent for me is the answer. So she was mailed the motion to dismiss and the answers. The defendant responds to the numbered
Can I read
allegations.
some?
Huh?
Can I read some?
Sure.
You know I love serving somebody their ass.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
wait.
Carrie.
Let me make it bigger. In answering the allegations of paragraph 1 of the complaint, it is admitted that the plaintiff is a resident of Scotland County, North Carolina, residing at blank, as set forth by the plaintiff on the complaint herein.
I don't know, mystery.
The defendant denies any unlawful conduct and asserts that he has never been in Scotland County or that any alleged unlawful conduct occurred within the state of North Carolina, and that the defendant is a citizen and resident of the state of Tennessee, except as herein admitted. The allegations of paragraph 1 are denied. 2, that the plaintiff has not checked either 2A or 2B, that she is a victim of any unlawful conduct that occurred in North Carolina, and therefore, the allegations of paragraph 2 in its entirety are denied. 3, not applicable. 4, not applicable. 5, that in answering paragraph 5 of the complaint, the plaintiff has not checked paragraph 5, so the pre-printed allegations of paragraph 5 are denied.
Mm-hmm. She wasn't there to check anything.
And the
Oh, my bad.
which way do I go with this? For
Here we go.
Where was and the defendant's typed allegations of paragraph 5 are denied. In as much as the plaintiff did not check paragraph 5, she has therefore made no allegations,
Right.
and therefore any additional allegations typed under paragraph 5, which can be construed as allegations, are hereby denied. You can go.
Oh, okay. You're right here, right? The
Yeah,
action.
second
So the
defense.
second defense.
Let me also explain how the court works. You have to ask for a continuance. A judge normally does not just say, okay, we'll continue. You have to ask for it. a judge is a mediator. Like the other lawyer would say, Your Honor, can we get a continuance so we can look over the files? The judges say yes. Brittney could say, Brittney, can I get a continuance? I'm not prepared. Judge can say yes or no. But you actually have to be there on time. But everyone seems to think the judge will do it on their own. No, you have to ask for it. Everything with the judge, you have to actually ask for.
A request for payment of attorney's fees. The action against the defendant herein is without merit and is designed to harass, bother, and cause the defendant embarrassment and to incur unnecessary legal expenses. The plaintiff has abused the judicial system by taking out a frivolous complaint for no contact order for stalking or non-consensual sexual conduct where the court has.
I don't know. I think there were other avenues that could have been taken, Kim, but I do understand. I can see why she chose this avenue, but I mean, I wouldn't say that would be my first plan of action.
Has no jurisdiction, venue, or evidence to support a claim, and plaintiff intended to take out an ex parte order, which was denied by the court. As a consequence, the plaintiff should be ordered to pay directly to the defendant all of the costs of this action, including attorney's fees incurs, as well as other sanctions the court deems appropriate for a frivolous and malicious action, pursuant to the North Carolina Rules of Civil Procedure, Rule 11 NCGS 621.5, by virtue of the wrongful acts of the plaintiff. Wherefore, the defendant prays the court.
They do, but that's all of them, Carrie. Like Granny took it too far, Brittney took it too far, Justin took it too far, Sharon them took it too far, Clue took it too far, Jay took it too far, the B took it too far. Like a lot of people took it too far. You know what I'm saying? So if that's the case, then like if that's day October 6th.
House. Again, no specificity, and another statement that
that's the lawsuit community now.
I forget what's.
And Sinner didn't take it too far? Just asking. I don't see you mention anything on your side.
Next here. Okay, so this is the same thing for Clue. I think it says the exact same thing. I'm almost positive.
Yeah, I did hear a clip that was played of them, like it was Brittney saying that Chris and Katie shouldn't be able to get one on BHB. And I'm glad they were able to. I absolutely am glad they were. I think more parents should. They should stop the fucking madness.
Cool. Yeah.
How many times does law enforcement have to tell us impressors that we are making it more difficult?
Yeah, it does. Because the only thing that was in question was whether or not she filed an ex parte on you, and that was determined before this was sent. So
that all the claims are dismissed with prejudice.
Right.
Yeah.
Dismissed. So dismissed with prejudice, right? That essentially means that she cannot go file the same action again the same way.
Yeah, she could file a different action using the evidence. Or she could file the same action with different claims.
That's essentially what that means. So it's over and fucking done with if the court upholds this request and this answer.
But that's the point, Stevie, is Brittney thought that Chris and Katie shouldn't have been able to get one on BHB or even the Bauer socks. You know, so it's like she thought that was fucked up for them to try to do to Betty. And that's the point people were trying to prove. But here she is trying to do it to Clue and Cletus. At the same time, though, let's not forget, Queen is also trying to do this with Sinner.
I think that is the end of that.
Boom chakalaka.
So let me remove this and pull up the next thing.
I don't know.
Yeah, just in case, you know.
So I wanted to show Y'all have seen all the paperwork that was actually filed.
Just roll the thing in the middle, baby.
And I want to show you what she presented to her audience to debunk the claim that it was anything to do with sexual conduct, what have you, right? Which, again, I give her that one. She wasn't claiming that. I didn't see any indication of that being claimed. It was a misunderstanding based on the form.
Oh, he finally says it, y'all. He finally says it. I'll give her that. It was miscommunication. The form was fucked up. It said something wrong.
But what she did show on her channel in an attempt to debunk that gave me pause. Because this is the first page of the complaint, right? This is a standard first page of a North Carolina GS50C form. The difference between this and what Clue and I both.
Do you realize how fucking fake these X's are? Have you ever seen X's that aren't equal? Like, you can tell that it's not real. Each X is totally different. She's such a fucking moron. But if you haven't seen this, you need to listen. This is a really important part.
We're served with is that she checked box 3 on this, which leaves me to ask the question.
Whose papers are them?
Whose papers are these? Because this is not what was on what we got served with.
Nope.
So I'm like, because this is a photo, right? And then my question is this a photo that was sent? Or the questions that are in my head, they're rhetorical. I don't want to fucking answer. But was this a photo somebody sent you of how to complete this form?
Oh, that's a good catch, though.
What?
She wrote that X in. Look, typed, written.
Oh, yeah. Was this a photo somebody sent you of one?
Bitch.
Was this one that you filled out and failed to file? Was this, the one? I don't know, because the claims that are
I mean, that's a good question.
made are on the same form under Section 5. So I don't know how you have this one and show this as your proof that you didn't claim non-consensual sexual conduct, but you fuck it up to show the form that you didn't actually file. Right. Now, again, I'm giving you credit. You didn't make a claim about non-consensual sexual conduct, but what you did do is provide a receipt that wasn't fucking relevant to what you actually filed. So I'm saying that she did try it, but she did fucking try to deceive somehow, or what she did show was deceptive in some ways.
It was. I agree with that, because even if it was a rough draft, show us the real shit. Why are you showing us a rough draft?
Well, and I will say this: someone just
There is no rough draft when it comes to fucking paperwork. Not when it comes to court papers. You don't have a rough draft. She showed fake papers because she's a fucking fraud. Makes perfect sense to me.
said, I don't know how true this is, but someone did say in the chat that you can file these things online.
And that very well may be true, right? I don't know. I don't know enough about North Carolina to be able to speak to that. I want to show
at least falsified receipts, because she was not showing what the hell we got. And again,
y'all would know about them falsified receipts, right?
I'm going to reiterate that I sent photos of what we got to J.S. for Justice the day he got them. His paperwork, right? Because I hadn't gotten
What'd he
yet.
say? What'd he say, Leon?
I sent those to Jay.
right.
So she can't sit there and say, oh, well, it was marked on their form. They're just lying.
I agree.
So, all of this has gone down, right? All this is filed. We filed the response. We have filed all of this. And today the hearing comes about. The hearing was this morning at 9:30. We were not there. We were represented by.
I agree, Stevie, because I mean, if she would have took this seriously and been on her P's and Q's and had her shit together with this, and then it was denied, then no, she shouldn't have to pay their fees. But the fact that it was just like blown off, ugh. I gotta go check the pork chops.
Again, Joneson, she did it on purpose. Stop believing the lies. When she knows that she can manipulate you and Chasing and Lindsay and people in your chat, she's gonna keep doing it because you guys all fall for her bullshit. Even though Your gut instinct is telling you not to, even though your gut is telling you don't fall for it. You guys fucking do every time. I don't get it. She opened a PDF of the seatbelt ticket, and Officer Lockheed wrote in the report that she spotted her because she was leaning forward. So she was probably nodding while driving. Well, that's scary.
Don't strike me, Cletus.
Our attorney that was there to represent both of us in this matter. We were also represented by the second attorney that I had also engaged and contracted with to present us. And I did that just to make sure, number one, that it was handled. Number two, that, I'm not playing fucking games. You file something in a court of law against me, I'm coming fucking correct. So this is the outcome of the hearing this morning. And I received this just a little while ago. So the file date, October 13th, 2025, 1:34:30 p.m. That would be when the judge signed off on it and it was filed with the court. Brittney Jackson versus, this was mine, dismissal with prejudice. The plaintiff failed to appear on the scheduled trial date. The defendant did appear on that date and has moved to dismiss this action. Now, like I said, we didn't show up, but we were represented, which is equivalent to us being there, right? We were represented. We didn't just leave the fucking court hanging, all that kind of thing. So it is dismissed with prejudice. Let's see, October 13th. This is the judge's signature, marked judge, right? So it's over and done with. This is the actual case summary, just to provide receipts on everything that we have said in terms of the timeline. Let's see, 10/2/2025, civil summons requested by Brittney Jackson, and this was against me for this case summary. 10/8, civil summons served. That was on me because that's when I got the full packet, right? So they didn't even count that I got the full packet on October 6th, which is fair because I actually called Scotland County Courthouse on October 6th, right after I was served with the two papers by the sheriff department here. And I came in and I called Scotland County to ask them, where are we at? What's going on? And they told me, well, yours was dismissed, or, this was dismissed. And I'm like, what do you mean? And they're like, the ex parte was dismissed. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I was asking them and telling them that the sheriff here had said that, there should have been more paperwork. And they were like, yeah, it should have been a full packet. And I'm like, I didn't get a packet, which I thought was funny, right? The irony in that, I didn't get a packet. So then on day 10/8, they came back out and they served me and served Clue with her full package as well. 10/3 ex parte hearing. And this one kind of threw me off a little bit because I'm like, I don't understand that. But it says ex parte hearing 9:30 a.m., but it says created 10/2 at 3:29 p.m. And then it shows 10/6 ex parte hearing 9:30 a.m.
You don't think they should get calls because it was dismissed, not denied? I don't know.
10/13 civil.
I think the way she handled this court situation was reckless and irresponsible.
No contact order, blah, blah, blah. This is the hearing for this morning. And it says resolved, right? So it's over. So this is the list of.
Oh yeah, I don't think it was frivolous. I just think the way she handled it was very bad, but it wasn't frivolous.
All the filings, these are the dispositions. So on 10/6, it was denied. The ex parte restraining was denied. 10/13, involuntary dismissal. So what that means is she didn't withdraw it. The judge said no. That's just all there is to it. The judge told her fucking no, and that's that. And that was this morning at 11:07 a.m. is what this is listed
That's
at. So I'm
true.
guessing
That's true. But Queen isn't going after Betty for costs now that it's dismissed. Like they did. Oh, yeah, they did request it, didn't they? Okay. I don't know. I'd have to ponder that.
that's when that was filed. So this is a list of the case events. October 2nd, she filed the complaint at 3:21 p.m.
I know,
the civil
DJ.
summons was created. There was a notice of hearing created, and this is all October 2nd. Identifying information about defendant.
That's
so she
true.
filled out all the paperwork that we just went over on October 2nd, right? Then on October 6th, ex parte order denied. 10/8 certificate of service, which is when we got served at 2:32 p.m. And I feel like that's a little late, but this is also Eastern time, whereas we're on Central. So it's probably Well, actually, no, it would have been like 11-ish, but by the time they got word of it, that's probably fair. 10-8 motion to dismiss complaint was created and filed at 2:32 p.m. So the same time they got certificate of service of us, they also got our answer and our response, right? To find out part of this fucking around scenario. 10-8 certificate of service of answer. So what that's saying is basically our attorney showed that they had indeed sent her the answer and the motion. So 10-8 answer created, return of service served. And the way I understand it is there, and I don't know about anywhere else, but there, the way this went down is you don't necessarily have to serve in like a motion. You don't have to get proof of service on a motion.
Do we need to watch this part? What did Chasen say?
Well, let me tell you why this part's important, Jonesin. Because Brittney says they were served on the same day. They got their paperwork on the same day. Well, this proves that's another lie. Lie 995 from Brittney. This paperwork shows they were not served on the same day. Brittney may have possibly filled the paperwork out on the same day, but Cletus was served on the 6th. She was served on the 8th. So, like I said, another lie from Brittney. Shocker.
Oh, I agree with that. Yeah. Oh, that probably counts too. Must have got lost. I don't know.
Missed that part when our attorney was explaining that. So then we come to, 10-9, return of service served. So I guess it was sent certified because this definitely shows that she got notice of this on October 9th, which was Thursday. So she knew what the answer and the motion was since Thursday. Well, that takes a little bit of credibility away from her and the grace I was willing to show, because I was thinking she maybe didn't even get it till this weekend. And maybe that's why she came into the courthouse with the excuse she gave. But I can't think of any good reason why she wouldn't have shown up with an attorney this morning if she wants to get into the courtroom and claim she has one.
But see, you have to be very careful with Clue and Cletus because, especially Cletus's receipts, because his receipts sounded good. I would say twice I've seen his receipts, like watching it sounds good and all, but if you pay any lick of real attention to it, you can see where things are fucked up. And so far on this, he seems to have it together. Already more than she did, no matter what.
Have to presume that she was trying to delay the fucking inevitable.
I agree.
So yeah, that is that. I think that's pretty much all the.
I just want to see if I think I just saw what I saw.
Or anything like that. You just have to put it in the mail and show proof that you put it in the mail.
I thought it was sent certified.
It may have been, right? But our attorney didn't. Okay, if you heard that, then I just missed that part when our attorney was explaining that. So then we come to, 10-9, return of service served. So I guess it was sent certified because this definitely shows that she got notice of this on October 9th, which was Thursday. So she knew what the answer and the motion was since Thursday. Well, that takes a little bit of credibility away from her and the grace I was willing to show, because I was thinking she maybe didn't even get it till this weekend. And maybe that's why she came into the courthouse with the excuse she gave. But I can't think of any good reason why she wouldn't have shown up with an attorney this morning if she wants to get into the courtroom and claim she has one.
But see, you have to be very careful with Clue and Cletus because, especially Cletus's receipts, because his receipts sounded good. I would say twice I've seen his receipts, like watching it sounds good and all, but if you pay any lick of real attention to it, you can see where things are fucked up. And so far on this, he seems to have it together. Already more than she did, no matter what.
Oh my God.
That she was trying to delay the fucking
Oh my God. I am so fucking grossed out. Jonesin did what I thought she was going to do. What I thought she did. If you know, you know. Oh my God. Did anyone catch that? Or am I the only one that caught it? Maybe it's not big enough. Hold on. Watch Jonesin. Tell me what you see.
Already more than she did. Already more than she did. No matter what.
Have to presume that she or anything like that. You just have to put it in the mail and show proof that you put it in the mail.
I thought it was sent certified.
I don't. It may have been right, but our attorney didn't. Okay, if you heard that, then I just missed that part when our attorney was explaining that. So then we come to, oh yeah, 10-9, return of service served. So I guess it was sent certified because this definitely shows that she got notice of this on October 9th, which was Thursday. So she knew what the answer and the motion was since Thursday. Well, that takes a little bit of credibility away from her and the grace I was willing to show, because I was thinking she maybe didn't even get it till this weekend. And maybe that's why she came into the courthouse with the excuse she gave. But I can't think of any good reason why she wouldn't have shown up with an attorney this morning if she wants to get into the courtroom and claim she has one.
But see, you have to be very careful with.
Okay. Her nose is itchy. I get that. Keep watching. Just pay close attention.
Clue and Cletus because, and well, especially Cletus's receipts, because his receipts sounded good. I would say twice I've seen his receipts, like watching it, it sounds good and all, but if you pay any lick of real attention to it, you can see where things are fucked up. And so far on this, he seems to have it together. Already more.
Did you catch that? She fucking picked her nose and ate it. She just did that. That is fucking gross. Gross. Absolutely fucking gross. Ugh. That's one of those things you can't fucking unsee. Did anyone else realize that? Like, I understand she had an itchy nose, whatever. But then you can see what she does. Oh. Absolutely fucking gross. Did anyone else notice it? I mean, I'm really close to a 49-inch monitor, so it's like right there. Sorry, Tony. But I'm serious. Did you guys see that? Like, she tried to be slick about it. Oh, I'm positive. Yes, she did. With the nail, when she put her nail on her teeth, that's what did me in. Blech. As Jay would say. Blech. Blech. Yeah. No other reason for her to run her nail across her teeth. Blech. I can't unsee it. All right, it is almost 3 a.m. though. This, I think, is pretty much done, though. But I have to be up at 7 because I got to fucking work all day. But feel free to rewind that a few minutes, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's pretty bad. 19.8. But so you did see it. Thank you. I'm telling you, I'm not crazy. I was like, meh. Oh, but I'm telling you though, ugh. I thought at first she was just like scratching her nose. Then I saw her nail go into her fucking mouth, and there would be no other reason for her to put a nail in her mouth. Blah. That. She also said she didn't fart, though. Now she's going to strike me for that. Yeah, I got to be up in 4 hours. I can't find my vape juice either. I don't know where it is. I mean, I have my other one, but I don't have my good one. Thank God tomorrow's Wednesday and 25% off in case I did lose it. I don't know where it is. Maybe it's in the car. You're welcome, guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. I know it was a late live, but my mod Kristen was on CNY's channel tonight, so we were watching that. But I am going to go. I'm going to try to get some sleep for a few hours. I told Dayton he's got to wake me. And I know the dogs are going to want to go out once all the lights go out. Because Karma has to go out every night before bed. Once all the lights go out, then he wants to go out. She's funny. So, all right. But I will see you beautiful people tomorrow night. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for listening. Joneson for some reason sounded worse when I was listening to it for like 20 minutes. And I don't know. She wasn't as bad as I thought she was. So I'll give credit where credit is due. I thought it was a lot worse this afternoon. So, see, when you're tired, you yawn. Imagine that. But, all right. So I'll see you beautiful people later. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out. Thank you guys for super chats, cash apps, PayPals, candle orders, every memberships. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I can't believe we're almost near Christmas. Oh, my God. So, all right. I will see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Peace. And again, hit that thumbs up on the way out. Brittney should not be getting more thumbs up than I do. Let's just keep that in mind. All right? All right. Peace.